Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 21 of Casual Rage on the Raging Rhino channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yes, today we are going to be going through WandaVision, which dropped finally, which was very weird. Trip out. That first episode, the second episode, but like, it's sort of okay. I always do that playback in my head. Yes, but it was very weird. We'll get into that. And we're also going to talk about Star Wars: The High Republic. When it comes to Star Wars at the moment, I don't even care. There's so many videos that I should have done this week. And every time I thought about sitting down and actually talking about Star Wars, I just didn't want to. It was really, really weird. Anyway, let's say hello to everyone. Lyndon, welcome to Casual Rage, episode 21. I don't know how many of these you've been on, but it's been a few. How you doing?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on again. Been a while. Yeah.
No worries. You've been dropping a few videos. What have you been up to? What do you got out there?
Talking shit on Justina Island. She blocked everyone, which you're going to talk about. Trump's been removed from Home Alone 2. What else? There's a bunch of shit. Yeah, man.
Can't believe that. Let's just cancel him from fucking something that he was in, 20 years ago or something?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we've also got Tim, Open Airlock Policy. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what can I do to earn Justina's unblocking. I need to see her tweets. Like, what can I do? Please tell me.
Well, yeah.
That's what my weekend's going to be about. So
you know, it's really funny. I got blocked too. My laptop is really low on power. Sorry, Lethal. How you doing tonight?
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad? What are we?
Yeah,
Some
explain.
type of Casual Rage?
While I actually plug my laptop in. I'm sorry. Excuse me, everyone.
I don't know. It just popped into my head like a few hours ago. And I'm like, man, that was really fucking cringy in the movie when they said that. It was kind of funny as well. So I'm like, yep, let's try and bring back that meme. What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad? And you can kind of do that like any movie that ever existed. Tim, name a movie off the top of your head. Any movie.
Star Trek.
What are we? Some kind of Star Trek?
They actually did that in Star Trek First Contact. So, yeah. Lame.
Oh, really?
Can't believe that just happened.
Lame.
Lyndon, name any movie.
Die Hard.
What are we? Some kind of Die Hard? All right, now your turn, Rhino. Any movie off the top of your head.
Lord of the Rings.
What are we? Some kind of Lord of the Rings? That's perfect, that one.
Batman. That'd be cool.
Also got the geek page. Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Put in the chat they muted.
What?
You fucking read this chat.
I can't hear you, Lethal.
Read the
I said, you
chat.
motherfucker.
Okay.
Oh. Debbie does tell her.
What are we? Some kind of Debbie Does Dallas.
Or some kind of Dallas doing Debbie, actually. But
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. It's a classic. It's a classic.
Some kind
Jeff.
of city you doing, Debbie?
You watched WandaVision, didn't you, Jeff?
Yeah, I did.
All right, cool. So you're the only one though, Tim, that hasn't watched it, correct?
yeah, and when you guys say you watched it, how many episodes are we talking here?
There's two.
That's it?
They needed to drop 2.
They released two, and then they'll be weekly.
Oh, so
just like
they're not going to
Mandalorian.
binge it. They're going to do the
No,
like the
it's
Mandalorian
Disney Plus.
model.
That's what they do.
Okay.
And it's on Disney Plus. It's the same model that they'll do with all their.
It's on
And
D+.
I reckon it's better. And
D+.
this WandaVision definitely needed to drop the first 2 episodes, because the first episode, if it just had to drop that, I wouldn't have watched it next week.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
honestly wouldn't have.
Yep.
What are we? Some kind of WandaVision?
Yeah. How about
Hey,
this?
it's fucking funny. What are we? Some kind of cock meat?
meat?
Oh, Jeff, give us a movie, Jeff. Any movie.
Yeah, Jeff, name a movie.
Let's see. Captain America.
What are we? Some kind of Captain America? That's not bad.
That's great.
All right. We've also got Jed in the house. I hope you got that one episode in. I actually wrote back and said, maybe one episode. It was about half an hour ago. We'll talk about the length of time of these episodes too. I don't know what it is with Disney and their episodes, and it's just weird the way that they do it. Anyway, Sister Hero. Hey, Sister Hero. I'll give you a lethal lightning. Mwah. How are we?
It's more like,
Blake. Well, there you go. What are we? Some kind of Charlie's Angels?
Why was the show have like 18 minutes worth of credits?
Oh god.
They all do.
Man. Oh, dude, you got no idea. For a 22-minute episode, the first episode goes for 22 minutes. There is 9 minutes of rolling credits.
Because they show all the the people who speak different languages for the voiceovers and
Weird.
yeah.
But there couldn't have been that much. It's 22 minutes. I mean, you get a movie length thing that goes for 2 hours and it's got less credit time than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you never see 9 minutes. Like, I don't know. Like, when you think about a movie, okay, think about Star Wars. How long do you reckon the end credits go for? I now need to actually time
It's
that.
pretty long. It's Mandalorian's long as well. It's at least 5 minutes.
More Charles, Matthew.
What are we, some kind of Star War?
What are we? Some kind of Star Wars is not about wars?
Not pro-war. That's what it was.
Not
Yeah.
pro-war, yeah. Dinosaurs, and we'll get into, actually, we're going to talk a little bit about the High Republic and Justina Island as well. As we do, actually... No, well, let's wait, because I know Mara hasn't seen WandaVision, so we may as well talk a little bit about that. Okay, so... Well, I guess let's just go around the table. What were your initial thoughts, Lyndon?
Initial thoughts were, what the fuck is this? I have no idea what's going on. And then kind of gave me some, not really context, but kind of explanation in the second episode that kind of can base it or ground it a bit, but not really. It's like, it's all over the place at the moment.
I'm curious in the chat, just quickly. One, if you've watched it, two, if you haven't, please. Just so that, like, because, like, with a question like that, I don't, like, man, you don't really know what's going on, what the situation is, and if it's actually going on in their minds, what's the villain situation, you don't really know. Sorry, Lyndon, to interrupt you.
Oh, good. I'm just going to post my actual review because I can't even remember now.
Lethal, what was your initial thoughts of this show?
the first episode, I thought, what the flying fuck am I watching, man? And I'm a Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie fan. I was like, this is not even close to being on that level. But the second episode, I warmed up to it a little bit more. That might be because of the magic outfit that she wears. But I struggle to say it's good, but it definitely has my interest. Like, I think the MCU is so formulaic. Like, everything's just the fucking same with a few exceptions. And just the fact that it's so different is what has my attention. I'm actually looking forward to seeing more, but it was just a, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like, for me, that whole I Dream of Jeannie sort of style show, it's just not my thing. And I was just sitting there like, it was real cringe for me, a lot of it. But then the serious bits that come in and you start to realize that you're sort of watching a show within a show. It's like, again, it's that mystery now that sort of got me intrigued to see the next thing. Jeff, what were your initial thoughts? I know
Mine were like,
you.
I'm just finishing my food too. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it was weird. Like, I was like, okay, all right, what the fuck was that? What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And I am a fan of like those old sitcoms, like, you know, I Dream of Jeannie, Dick Van Dyke Show, Donna Reed Show, all that kind of stuff. It felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
But without that second episode, I don't know. There was enough in the first episode to have me watch another one, but it didn't hook me as hard until the second episode. But now I just want to see what the fuck's going to happen. Now I want to watch every episode just to figure out what the fuck is going to happen.
It was a bit like me too.
I'll agree with Lethal. The best part of the episode was the magic outfit. Yes. I literally messaged Lyndon. I'm like, Can they just keep her in that fucking outfit the whole season?
Yeah, Lyndon told us
Yeah.
that. Lyndon leaks your DMs. But someone mentioned before the villain situation.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of setting up a sword confrontation.
Beekeeper.
Well, again, we'll get into that, but I just wanted to. I thought we'd be able to sort of do the same thing with that we were doing with the Mandalorian, sort of run through the episode because these are going to be quick. Because again, there's not much to this. I mean, episode one starts off with them like there's so much stupidness and corniness in the I Dream of Jeannie style of show that I'm sort of trying to block that out. And then when you look at it in its basic form, it's really, really simple. So they see this heart. Now, the problem is that these two can't really remember certain things.
Anything.
They can't remember. We find out in this episode that they can't remember when they got married. They can't remember where they came from. Was it? Or where... I can't remember exactly. There was
how they got there, and when they got married.
That's right. So they couldn't really remember why there was a heart put on the thing, and this is where like it really gets silly because he goes off to work. She's trying to figure it out for the whole day. She figures out that it's their anniversary because she can't remember anything, or she thinks that it's their anniversary. He goes to work.
He has no idea what their job is.
No idea. I thought that was kind of funny. There were a couple of moments where I did kind of laugh, like proper laugh. Like it made me sort of, haha, that's kind of funny. But again, it was a little bit silly. So he can't figure out what he's doing in his job. But he works out at work that his boss's last name is Hart, this guy. And it's an abbreviation for them coming over to dinner. It's really, really strange. Anything to say, guys, to where we're up to?
Plot-wise, there's not really a whole lot to talk about.
No.
It's because this show, it's almost like this show doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. Like I said before, it's got my attention because it's different, but it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I feel like once we actually know what the deal is, then there'll probably be a lot to talk about. But like even this, like the Stark ad, stuff like that.
Stark in this place or in this TV show or whatever is making toasters.
Yeah.
I don't know how that fits. I don't know if he was making toasters back in the day, or whether or not it was just arms like back in these sort of days.
I find it simple enough to believe that, they're kind of making a bit of this and a bit of that. And as time goes on, just more and more focus on weapons, more money in that.
Probably a front. Not that he was in the mafia.
I agree with Lethal on that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like there's a lot of Easter eggs and there's a lot of stuff like to point at, like Lyndon was saying before, like the helicopter having the sword logo on it. Plot wise, as of these two episodes, it's just kind of like the event of the week. Having dinner is the whole first episode. The magic show is the whole second episode for the most part. You know what I mean?
Yes. But then it really comes down to like the serious moments where...
Yeah, like the dinner party, actually, like the whole choking part, like what the fuck's up with that? Like the mum from that 70s show just repeating the same thing over and over again.
She was saying, what was she saying? She was laughing and saying...
Make it stop or something?
Make it stop, yeah.
She
it
said,
was really weird.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, that's right. Stop it. She's telling her husband to stop it.
Yeah.
And then Wanda says to Vision, like, help him, Vision. Yeah. So she, in a moment, she sort of snaps out of whatever she's in and tells Vision to, like, save him.
Yeah. It's a mind fuck, to say the least. And then
they leave pretty much immediately and say they had a really good night. It's really weird.
I think it's kind of like what we're talking about when we recorded our first thoughts was like, it's almost like, just to use an example, it's almost like they're in a video game and they have to do the correct choice to keep it going forward.
That part was, but like the other part,
And then
like,
same at the end of the second episode where she goes full House of M.
yeah.
Well, I just want to
reverse
show this is how the show ends. This is what I mean by it being a TV show within a TV show. Actually, before I do this, I just want to make sure that I haven't shared sound because last time I did.
Yeah, you done went and goofed it. What are we? Some
yeah.
type of sharing sound?
Well, you don't need to see the sound for this. So this is like how it ends. It closes out with them just having their moment on the couch. I should pause it just for a
And see, look,
second.
instead of saying like the actors' names, it says the characters' names. So it's like they are a TV show.
Yeah.
If I'm going to take a guess, it's something to do with the Mind Stone. And fuck knows, man. Like I'm not confused. I just don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I need more explanation, and that's kind of what's got me hooked in a weird one. Okay, hooked's the wrong word. It's got my attention.
Interested, yeah.
I am interested to see more of this because I want to know what the fuck's going on. Like 8 weeks from now, we could be saying this was the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life, or we could go, "Oh, that was interesting."
Now, you see this symbol for sword in, what is it, Lyndon?
Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So we see this symbol in episode 2, don't we?
Yep.
But yeah, it pans out, and that's how the episode ends. So it's like this weird, somebody's watching them. I don't know. I don't know how to
explain. Trying to contact her because that scene where
to the chat and have a look.
That scene where she's like talking to that blonde chick and they're trying to contact her through the radio.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How the fuck are they doing that?
It's so funny that you say that. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like episode 1, like I said, if they had just done episode 1 and that was it, I would have been out. It was the fact that I was able to watch the next episode straight away that has actually now piqued my interest because there was a little bit more in episode 2 of the mystery behind where they are, especially with that radio bit. But we'll get into that.
You're right. Like if they just dropped the first episode, a lot of people would have checked out because it was just what the fuck was that?
Oh yeah.
It definitely needed to drop the second episode.
Jeff, you've been quiet. What do you anything to say on this first episode?
He's eating.
Oh,
He said that like 3 times.
I'm pulling a Rhino when he used to come on our show and be like, "I gotta eat. I'll be back."
sorry. I'm trying to read the chat and keep up with everything. And again, I do these late. Sorry, Jeff.
It would. Yeah, the first episode. They needed a second episode to hook a lot of people, but after the first episode, I was still pretty intrigued. I was like, okay, what's happening? Let's figure this out.
Just make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It just like I think John 42 in the chat said it reminded me of Dick Van Dyke Show. That's what it reminded me of, like immediately almost.
Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, okay, so I love that show. I'll take a look. But Jed was saying in the chat, if you read Infinity War comics and the Scarlet Witch and Vision comics back in the day, you'd know what's going on.
I got no fucking idea what's going on.
I don't either.
Interesting.
I think it has something to do with the Mind Stone as well. Or
did you like it, Jed? It looks like. Sorry, go on, Jeff.
Oh, I think it's either has something to do with the Mind Stone, or this is like another dimension or some shit. I don't know.
But I don't know. I feel like the MCU as a whole, it's definitely been inspired by a lot of things, but I it's very different to like a lot of the stuff that happens in the comics. Like just look at Infinity War. That's pretty different. I mean, look at Ultron. That's extreme. Okay, Ultron's a bad example because.
Well, didn't Feige say in the interview last year, or the year before, that going forward they weren't going to pull stories from the comics anymore? They were going to do their own thing.
Well, haven't they really been doing that since the start? I mean,
well,
like
they've
the
been
MCU,
using ideas and stuff and like little things from the books, but like I think he said going forward they weren't going to even pull from the books anymore.
I just feel like, they kind of made a point of having like the MCU just being extremely accessible to anyone.
Yeah.
Where
More
I
generic.
don't. Yeah, generic. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna go deep comic lore in anything MCU, let alone a Disney Plus show.
True.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The MCU has always been very normie friendly.
Yes.
So even that, I don't know, man, because I don't know if I agree with that.
did you watch-
First 2 episodes, I don't know if that's the case yet.
Did you watch any of Grace Randolph's breakdown?
No,
No.
I'm going to save that for when I masturbate later.
All right, so for this first episode, let's go around and give a rating. Lyndon,
I think I already said it was about 6.
in our review.
Lord Vader, oh no, they're still taking things from the comics. They're comic book characters.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they take things from the comics?
They're
The
comic book
characters, yeah, but like
it's
I
not like they
thought about
fucking made it up.
specific stories, and they're not going to call their, their shows or their movies anymore the things based on specific comic books. That's what I got from that interview from him.
I'll have to watch that.
I mean, I know that Lord Vader, dude. I mean, of course they're going to put a fucking character in there from a comic book. That's
You're telling me they invented
Jesus.
Captain America?
Might as well have invented Captain Marvel because nobody knew.
What are we, some kind of Captain America inventors?
What are we, some kind of comic book writers?
Okay. No, Grace Randolph said there was a comic book line that had them living in some weird town that's being like a police state town that's being watched, and that's exactly kind of what it looks like. It looks like Sword's watching them through the radio and through. It's kind of like a Truman Show-ish. Like they're being watched.
Yeah, but like they believe what's happening too. So like it's, I don't know.
But then I don't know if they do believe what's happening, because there's that moment in episode 2 where Wanda says no and rewinds everything to change what's happened or something,
Yeah, when the big villain beekeeper comes out of the hole.
It was the Tom King. I didn't read the Tom King vision. I heard it was actually received pretty well.
I know, but Tom King.
Well,
so-
consider
King,
this. What if all their minds, I guess just the two of them, what if their minds are, let's say they're like laid out on like, beds, like stretcher bed in some kind of facility, and their minds are wired into this alternate reality. You know what I mean? And that's how they're able to interact with each other.
Yes,
something
but
like
if that was the case, then I don't know how the radio call thing is being done in episode
Maybe it's
2.
maybe it's just an allegory for something else happening. You know what I mean?
G'day, Stig.
Hey, Steve.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so
Yeah.
I'd invite you on, Stig, but I'm expecting Mara very, very soon. And I've only got six spots because I don't have the paid version because I'm cheap. Yeah. Lyndon, did you give a rating for that first?
Yes.
Oh, by the way,
6.
everyone in the chat, we're doing pretty much sort of like a full Aussie review, you could say, on Lethal's channel. So go and check that out. We did a review for the first 2 episodes, and I don't know. I suppose it's something that we can do each week.
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, every
What are
Friday.
we? Some type of review?
I'm not making videos anymore, so why not? No, I will. I promise. Okay, so Lethal, what was your rating for the first episode in isolation? Because I do want to
In
make a point.
isolation?
Yep.
Probably a 5, but with the second episode, I would bump it up to about a 6, maybe a 5.5.
I'm with you exactly the same on that, because the second episode opens it up a little bit more and opens up your curiosity a little bit more, to the point where that first episode doesn't seem so bad anymore.
You could say it makes me WandaVision curious.
Yeah. I wonder how you're visioning it. That's why I made that It was a bit of a dad joke on my tweet. Jeff, in isolation, rate the episode, please.
The first one?
Yeah.
I'd say a 6 or so. I think the reason I give it a 6 is because she's in that other outfit in this first episode.
Nice.
I was
But
actually.
no, it did captivate me and want me to watch it. It did kind of pull me in because I was like, well, what the fuck is going on? Kind of thing.
I was actually just going to
I'd say
ask that
6.
before. How many extra points are we giving it because of Elizabeth Olsen's tits?
All right.
Episode was a 5.5. Elizabeth Olsen was about a 9 on that one.
Yeah.
In isolation, that scene, it's kind of like the Luke Skywalker scene. It becomes a 9.9 out of 10 on IMDb just because of that one scene.
The magician
But Elizabeth
outfit
Olsen's tits.
Okay, so I just want to bring back this.
But
closing
Elizabeth Olsen's
part.
tits.
This- That's going to be the new one. Daniel,
Yeah, if it turns
you're
out to be a
watching,
bad
make me-
show, have
Daniel,
that
if you're
tweet
watching,
saved as
make
the
me a
draft.
keyboard, please. I want a keyboard saying, but Elizabeth Olsen's tits, twins. What? It's too early in the morning. I just want to come back to this quickly. This is obviously the closing scene of episode 1. And there could be some validity to like sort of being plugged into some sort of like matrix sort of system. So, so to speak. And this person's watching what they're seeing while they're plugged in. Like
That's what I was saying earlier.
have a look here. There's 2 different, I don't know, they look very much the same in regards to the way they're moving and waving, but one could be Wanda Maximoff, one could be Vision. But I don't know. This is analog down here. It says analog. So I don't know when this is actually, what time period this is.
I feel like it's like 50s.
Well, obviously in the show, like in this show,
It's current. I think it's current day.
like the WandaVision show is in the 50s, but when is this?
Oh, that's modern day, man.
That's current day.
I reckon that's current day, man.
it's current
He's got an Elgato Stream Deck next to him. By the
Yeah, he
looks of
does. He dropped the big bucks for that shit.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Analog.
Sometime past Endgame, like, is that confirmed? Do we actually have like a time period of when this is taking place? Because again, everyone's saying sort of the 50s, but that's within the show. I believe the show of
I don't think it was
WandaVision is taking place in the 50s, but again, reality isn't that place.
Because
So-
he's got the Mind Stone in his, like, I know, fuck man, it's confusing. Because he's got the Mind Stone in the show he's in, but does that mean that's what he's projecting he has still?
I don't know.
Correct, too.
I think that
Like,
might-
Is he
because
even alive?
after Endgame, he's still not back.
Like, is he even alive?
Yeah.
I think that might be because that's how Wanda remembers him.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Thanks for swinging
Yeah.
past, Scott. Appreciate you, buddy.
Because what we were trying to figure out before is, okay, post Endgame, Captain America goes back and gives back all the stones. What happens with the Mind Stone? Like, who does he end up giving that back to? That's what we're trying to track back.
Because it's in the start.
It's kind of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, he kind of
Yep.
What?
gives it back to himself, or he gives it back to the thugs in the elevator.
No,
Because he doesn't use the Hail Hydra line.
Yeah, so before he takes it, oh, fuck me, dude. I don't know.
How does he give it back to them? He goes, "Here you go, Hydra. Have the spear back, so that everything can happen the way it happened."
Yeah, he
Spear.
has to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to. Hail Hydra. Here, have the spear.
Makes no sense. It's so fucked.
Yeah.
Like, time travel.
He could actually take it to Pierce. He could have taken it off him and take it to Alexander Pierce. He could do that.
But didn't Thanos give it to Loki?
Yeah, but then after that, because this is Avengers one time when they've got it and the Hydra takes it. So he could actually take it to Pierce himself, like one-on-one. Because you remember in Winter Soldier, him and Pierce are talking, but then he finds out he's like leading the Hydra vision there. But yeah, he could do that. He could have taken it off them, taken straight to him.
Can you confirm or deny this, Lyndon? Was Sword after the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. or before? It would have been after.
I know Spider. Yeah, it would have been. It should have been after because
Surely.
Spider-Man Far From Home had Talos the Scrolls, and that's when they. So we know that they switched after Endgame with Fury, who's on Sword. Fuck, man. It's getting fucking confusing.
Who said Truman? Somebody said it was a bit like Truman.
Lyndon.
Yeah. It's sort of like that. You got to think about it like that. So when you're actually in the show, that's not reality. Like, I don't know. I want to get into episode 2 because that really opens it up. Because that first episode, like I said, I give it a 5, and I'm with Lethal. It kind of elevates to a 6 once you've watched episode 2. But in isolation, it's bad. It's a good thing that they dropped 2 episodes. In all honesty, I reckon they should have dropped 3. But it depends on what they show. Like if the 3rd episode has a really big moment or something that has a lot of relevance to it, then maybe it is good that they left it. But anyway. Okay, so the beginning of episode 2, it is exactly I Dream of Jeannie. It opens up with that exact, like, sorry. Sorry, it actually opens up with this scene. So they're in bed. There's a tap at the window, like there's noises going on outside, and it ends up
tap on the window.
It ends up just being the tree hitting the window.
See, this part is like, you know, when I'm bitch about how I don't like MCU humor, it's shit like this. There's a fucking bang in the outside. It's like you are like one of the most powerful Avengers, and Vision ain't no slouch either, man. Like fucking fuck off.
But this isn't MCU humor. This is
if it's cheesy, annoying, and cringy, it's MCU humor.
But this is almost a parody of This is a parody. You got to think of what you're seeing here within this show, within a show.
Yeah, it's meta.
Is a parody of real, like, I don't know. It's just a parody. It's Bewitched.
If this really was like the 50s, he should slap her.
One of these days, Wanda.
It literally opens up to like the.
Yeah, it's Bewitched like style intro. Yeah.
So this is where we get the magic trick. So again, the whole. I hate to say it, but I almost want to just ignore all of this stuff and just concentrate on like the end bits because, you know, the end of this episode is where we see the bad guy or whatever coming out of the sewer.
Go to the middle.
Yeah, you're skipping the fucking best part.
We get the magic trick. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Oh,
even like, you know, when he eats the chewing gum and he goes retarded, like even that I thought was a bit dumb.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
wait. The chewing gum
his innards are actual gears.
No, because he took the thing out of the guy's throat in the first one when he was choking, but he can't take it out of the chewing gum out of himself.
And chewing gum's all it takes to beat Vision.
I don't think he knew there was chewing gum inside him, though.
Yeah, he did because he swallowed it.
Yeah.
But once you took it out, he was like, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah, but he was acting like he was drunk. Like fucking chewing gum was made of fucking
alcohol, bourbon. It was a little bit weird. That was a little bit weird, but I don't know. Again, it's kind of like what's happening in this world isn't real. So I ignore and suspend my disbelief of all of that stuff.
No, but if you're going to show Vision taking something out of someone else's body because that's physically possible to do that, he should be able to just take it out of himself.
Yeah, I agree with Lyndon on that. I mean, he literally did it in the last. He does it in this episode with the hat as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a second.
Moving on.
So she walks out into the yard, and there's a helicopter which is coloured. I'm trying to get to the bit where you can actually see
Do
this.
you think it's a stretch to say it's Iron Man's
Did
colors?
you say colored?
Coloured?
I didn't want to
It's a helicopter of color.
What did I say?
I'm
Well,
just
with
giving
some
you shit,
type of
dude.
helicopter.
You said the helicopter was colored.
What are we, some kind of colored helicopter?
Oh my god.
Cancer Rhino. All right. This
I was
helicopter.
thinking that too, Rhino. I was thinking the Iron Man colors too.
This helicopter also has the sword logo on it.
Sword.
There was also the bit in this. I know I just skipped right past that, but there's also a bit in this where you get another ad for a watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's a screensaver.
Yeah, I was
right
gonna say
there.
that was a
Go back
screenshot right
there.
there, man.
I think it's screenshot.
That one?
Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau.
I didn't even know that was Monica Rambeau until I watched your all's review. I was like, good God, I forgot she was supposed to be in this.
Yep, Monica Rambeau. I think this is a bit of a weird place to introduce the character.
I
into the
agree.
MCU.
Uh-huh.
But again, this isn't real. This is a projection of something.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is the first time the
We're
MCU
seeing
has
it.
shown
I
the
understand.
character.
Wasn't she in Captain Marvel?
Yes.
I only watched the porn one,
As
man.
a kid, right?
Yeah, she was a kid.
I scrubbed a lot of that movie out of my fucking memory. So
Yeah.
that and Spider-Man: Far From Good.
Hello, Teresa. Hello, everyone new in the chat.
Oh,
Sorry,
wow, Teresa.
I've gone from like 15 to 23 viewers, and I haven't said hello to anyone. I haven't been paying attention because I've just been running through this. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to all the new viewers. We
Hola.
have another guest. Hello, Mara.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. I watched the 2 reviews, so that's about as much as the information that I know.
Cool.
Nice. So you haven't watched the episodes. Are you going to? I don't think you are you?
I don't know. Maybe I'd have to find a way to sail the high seas because I'm not getting Disney Plus subscription just to watch this show.
I could help you with that. Just like I helped Lethal with that.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way because I let my Disney Plus free subscription lapse. So,
Did you even use it?
I did, but basically to watch like Pixar cartoons or original cartoons, nothing to do with Star Wars or Marvel.
You didn't watch any Mando using it?
No, I
You didn't watch Mando, did you?
Literally had like my apathy level was through the roof with that show.
Apathy is death, Mara. Come on.
Apathy is death. What are we? Some type of apathy is death?
Yeah, it pretty much is. And yes, Monica Rambeau was in Captain Marvel as a kid, and I'm like, hoorah, diversity! You could have had her as fucking Captain Marvel because that's what she was before. Carl Manvers.
Carl Manvers.
I love that.
Wow.
That's her name, Carl Manvers.
I like
Look
it.
at her in the
I
fucking
like
book.
it a
She's a
lot.
fucking dude.
She got a booty on her butt. Check out my video. Let me give a booty gate.
Booty gate real.
Booty gate.
Fake. I call conspiracy. So sorry, Mara. We'll get through the rest of this episode, which won't take us long, and then we'll get into some of the...
I will say the trippiness intrigues me because I do like. I mean, Doctor Strange wasn't exactly, I would say, a good MCU film, but I've always loved alternate realities type shows, what if type approaches. So might check this one out. But like I said, you'll have to help me sail the high seas for that.
Yar.
Yeah,
I can help you.
I can help too.
Booty gate. It ain't real.
Booty gate is real.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Bitch got a fat ass.
I still claim that like that name. I came up with that name, so I need royalties for use of that, Lyndon.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any. I'm not monetized, so.
Well, when you do get monetized,
When you do get monetized,
I expect
50%.
Well, actually, no. I'm already paying you on your YouTube sub. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, get wrecked.
I want my 30% for creating controversy too. By the way.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, let's move on. So yes, Monica Rambeau is in here. This is where we get the trippy bit with the radio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, hold
Yeah,
on.
and then she cuts her hand and the blood's red.
It cuts to this
Oh,
first.
yeah.
See, I block all of this out. I can't even remember what is this even about. This bit.
He calls him a communist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's when he chokes on the gum.
And that's right. That's the whole purpose of this scene, so he can choke on the gum.
I eat regular, like a regular person. I'm a regular eating machine. That's what he says. Yeah.
So basically, to prove he's not a communist, he chews gum. I don't know.
Nah,
I don't know.
I'm not
I don't know
following.
what the fuck's going on. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if that's all it takes, then why are they calling me a fascist? I'll just
Imagine if Thanos rocked up with like a pack of chewing gum.
Yeah.
In time.
He's like, look, I'm not a communist, guys.
So this is supposed to be the chewing gum in his stomach where all his gears are, and it's like all sticking together and stuff. I thought it was weird.
I thought it was weird too. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Like,
together
that's
and
what
stuff.
fucked him up. Damn, she got a nice ass.
I was gonna say it's very nice.
Damn, she got nice tits.
Yeah, yeah, she does. Okay, I want to get to this bit.
Mm-hmm.
And McCaulfield too, there from Buffy.
The radio.
Yes.
So while the radio is playing, there's a voice coming through the radio saying, what's it saying, guys? It says,
Wanda, who's doing this to you?
Wanda, who's doing this to you?
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you all think?
Lyndon.
That's where it was
obviously
like, oh,
it's
shit, what's
obviously
going on?
consensual.
It's probably what?
Probably not consensual.
All right, Lethal. What are your thoughts?
How am I going to top that?
Blake.
It pretty much cements that like they're trapped in something, right? And there's someone
I like Blake's comment.
You could call Elizabeth Olsen's twins a full house. Oh, fuck yeah, man. I think Autobot Megatron has the correct response for you, Rhino.
Oh, yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it starts coming through and goes, Wonder, you're a Nazi.
That was
So,
real tame.
Yeah.
Jeff, any thoughts, any theories on what's going on or who this is?
No, this just confused me even more.
Uh-huh.
And intrigued me and pulled me a little bit more too. I still think that over the whole season they're going to do things like this in each episode, like sprinkle little things in like this, and then finally we'll get a big reveal at the end. So,
how many episodes is this season supposed to be?
I don't know. I think 8
It
or
was
9.
9. It was 9.
Such a weird number.
Can't they do like fucking 12 or 14 episodes anymore?
Because they're going to leave they're going to have like a 1 or like a 2 to 3 week break, I think, between this and then Falcon Winter Soldier. And then as soon as Falcon Winter Soldier ends, they're gonna make their decision before whether Black Widow comes out on Disney Plus or in the movies, because it's gonna come out just after Falcon Winter Soldier.
When's Loki coming out?
Yeah,
That is November. I think.
November.
I think I did the video.
That's like an alternate timeline too, isn't it? Where he actually takes the
Yeah, he's the best thing about this is this has been written by Rick and Morty writer, so that's why it's so fucking crazy.
It's fucking out there, man. It really is. But
Yeah, it's different.
she's in it. So
Hey, when it comes to Star Wars, I'm getting there.
Rhino's got all his brains out on a stream. He has to watch more Star Wars.
Lord Vader says Loki comes out in May.
Is it May?
May.
I thought it was. I thought it was.
So hang
November
on.
too.
When's Winter Soldier supposed to be? Right after this finishes.
Huh?
Yeah, like a couple weeks after. I did a fucking video on it. I can't remember.
Okay. Oh, you mean the show Winter Soldier or the
Fucking Winter Soldier. Yeah.
That's the one that I meant. Yeah.
Who cares? And I don't care even more. Yeah. That's the name of the
How
show.
are they handling Loki? Are they going with the timeline where he gets away?
Yes.
That
Okay.
would
Yeah,
have to,
because
surely.
he's going into the TVA, which is the time variant authority. So he's caught in like the end of Rick and Morty season 2 when Rick gets trapped in the Intergalactic Federation. It's kind of like the same thing.
Analogy.
Well, it's a Rick and Morty writer, so he's kind of doing the same thing, which is great.
I hope the Loki show is better too, and I think it will be because it won't be so
fucking bizarre.
It's
weird.
Tom Hiddleston too, man. He's
good.
He kills it in that role, no matter
He
what.
does.
Even if he's not in a good movie, he still kills in that role.
So yeah, this did intrigue me as well, quite a bit. It drew me in a lot more, because it was this moment that made me realize that what I'm actually watching isn't really real. So I don't really have to worry about that too much. All I'm really worried about is how or why she is trapped in whatever's going on. So that's the bit that's intriguing me. Is she being forcefully trapped and being forced into this illusion, this dream, this whatever it is, this show? It's literally a show within a show. It's weird. It really is very, very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty meta. There's a lot of meta
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
So we keep zooming in, and then she cuts her hand, and we get another
That's
color
right.
moment because she
Another
breaks the
colored
glass
moment.
in her hand. It's a decent gash.
Don't
He
be-
said.
It's
What he said.
a nice
My boy
gash.
Tim.
That's a nice gash.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
I feel your gash.
It was decent.
Here
Then we get
go.
the ad. This is where the
There it
ad
is.
comes in. Now we
Strucker.
get
Yep.
it's a Strucker ad with the Hydra logo. So again, this intrigued me again even more because in the first episode we got a Stark ad making toasters, and then we get a Strucker ad making watches, and it's sort of intriguing.
Is that symbolic of maybe her memories, like trying to break through or something like that?
So I'm thinking.
Yeah, something like that.
The funny thing is even after these 2 episodes, I can't draw my thoughts through to a conclusion. Like, I just can't get to a point where I'm like, what is actually going on? And I think that's really what's, again, intriguing me.
Yeah, same. I just hope it doesn't end up being a fucking JJ mystery box type thing.
No kidding.
Red Letter Media. Just dropped a video. Okay, then we get
Oh, there we
the
go. The
best
part of the
bit
episode.
of the entire show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
wow.
You know, when she's got her mouth
She's
open like that,
fantastic.
when she's got her mouth open like that, it gets very inviting.
A coloured
It's
photo.
warm and inviting. Yeah, for some
All right,
reason.
let's stop that. It's not the full Aussie. Let's. I got the other two here.
Basically,
It made me go absolutely stupid.
Is there a coloured photo of that? That's all I want to know.
I'm sure there is.
Find it for me.
I wonder if this show's going to get called racist for being in black and white.
Well, black was first, so I don't think so.
Coloured
It
at
is.
the end.
Yeah, everything. Well, it does.
Yes, look at that.
All right, so they get introduced. They do their magic show, which ends up actually being quite entertaining.
Yeah, actually, it was.
Because he's gone stupid because he's got chewing gum in him, and
Say that again out loud and realize how dumb that sounds.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's gone stupid because he's got chewing gum stuck inside of him,
In his fucking cartoon gears.
and she's making up for it with her magical powers. And see, the funny thing is in this show, it is very much simulated like I Dream of Jeannie. So she's constantly like twiddling her fingers instead of like wiggling her nose to like correct things or quickly just do things. Anyway, is there any other interesting bits?
Right there. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Go back.
Mara,
There
it's
you
kind
go.
of
Right
like
there.
that.
There you go.
kinda
Just leave it
like
there for the
that.
rest of the episode. Just leave it there.
Mara, it's kind of like that Zatanna outfit you have.
Yeah, except my boobs are bigger than hers.
Ooh.
Wow.
I can tell. I know. I know for a fact my bra size is bigger than hers, so my boobs are bigger.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna.
You know what?
Google
You know, can I
Look up,
caption
look
this?
up Elizabeth Olsen bra size. She's a
I'm
32.
doing it right fucking now.
Can I caption this?
Yeah.
Lethal, put your clothes back on, please.
No.
There you go.
Why is it a weird shape?
It's so small.
CelebrityInside.com. Here we go.
Elizabeth Olsen bra size. Okay, Elizabeth Olsen body measurements. Blah 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 blah. Where the fuck's the titty cover size?
They're big.
B. It says B.
Can't find.
She's not a bee.
It says cup size B.
There's no
No
way.
way.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
showing
big.
it. It's on
It just looks bigger because
Side.com.
she's 119 pounds.
Also, there's another search you can do.
Which means nothing to me when I work it all out in kilos.
I'm just saying, like that's the reason why they look bigger because she's so tiny.
Yeah.
Hey, was she fucking the dude that played Pennywise by any chance?
Tim Curry?
Not
No.
not Tim
No.
Curry.
Oh,
One of
boy.
Skarsgård brothers.
Freaking photo.
Yeah, Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. It says 32B.
Lethal, if you really want to see her, watch this movie called Martha Macy May Marlene. It was on TV once. It's about a cult. She's like in a cult, and you do see her upper body in that movie.
You see him also in. She was with what was that name? That she was in. It was a remake.
Yeah, I know. I'm horrible.
Josh Brolin. It was a Josh Brolin movie.
I'm a horrible human being.
And
good.
Oh, it was an old boy.
it's not
He was
really.
nude and old boy.
I'm too misogynistic.
The only thing close to the Zatanna costume is the top hat. That's it.
She was fully
Well,
nude
it's actually funny that you mentioned the boob armor. I wonder if this episode's going to cop anything for that outfit. Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
God.
Oh, bullshit.
You didn't change your
Like you don't fucking go.
you didn't change your password, did you, Jeff?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so let's just quickly move on because we're nearly at the end. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she ends up pregnant.
Whoa. Sorry, geek in the private chat.
Oh, yeah.
I want to have a look, but I can't while I'm doing this. Anyway, all of a sudden she ends up pregnant. Then they hear a noise outside. They go outside, and out through the sewer comes
Beekeeper man.
this guy.
The
Now, on his
beekeeper.
back, Lethal pointed out that it looks like the sword,
Yeah.
the symbol on his back there.
Yeah.
And he sort of looks at them, and then Wanda says no, and it goes into this rewind state back to them standing in the lounge room, and then it doesn't go forward from there. It actually goes into everything turning color.
Yep, she goes House of M.
Show's not racist anymore.
And then we get the end credits scene bit, and that's it from that episode. So it doesn't even zoom out like that other first episode did. So I think that first initial zooming out in that first episode is a big clue. But then the rest of this really then opens it up a fair bit more, especially with the radio call. Who's doing this to you, Wanda? And yeah, thoughts on this episode, guys?
Better than the first one.
Better,
I give it
yeah.
a 6.
You give it a
Again,
it's
six.
about a 7.5. Yeah, probably 7.
I give it a
So
six.
I asked the same question. How many extra points are we giving it because of the magician outfit, though?
If I'm giving an extra points for magician outfit, it's probably gonna be an 8.5.
Oh, thank you for showing me that, Jeff.
You're welcome.
That's very nice.
You're welcome.
Don't accidentally share that, please.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Funny.
share my screen. Boom. Oh my god, shut down.
If you showed it for like a second or two, you'd probably get away with it.
I'm not going to show it for a second or two, and stop trying to tempt me into showing it for a second or two. Okay, so yeah, this was a 6 for me. It elevated the first episode to a 6 for me as well. But but I'm so confused by it. And the funny thing is, with a show like this, I wonder how long it can keep my attention for. It was kind of like with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched the first season of that.
Oh god, this was better than that, dude.
The initial season of that wasn't actually too bad.
I will say there are episodes in that first season that are okay, but there's nothing in there that's good.
No,
I thought it was boring as fuck.
It's so bad.
all
All my friends would be like, just give it a chance. Give it a chance. I
enjoyed
watched
the
all the
first
first season and second season, and I'm like, when is it going to get good? So
I watched the whole first season, and I didn't mind the whole first season. It's not until it got into the second season, and it was because they started to change the dynamic of the characters way too quickly. After the first season, when he drowns
CW
those
stuff, man.
when he drowns those two doctors at the end of the first season, I can't remember their names. The engineer and the doctor chick.
The alien engineer.
Anyway, and then they go into season 2. In that, it really sort of drops off. I don't know about this. I just don't know. It seems so weird. I just can't get my head around it. Like, I'll probably give it another two episodes, maybe 3. But if it doesn't really sort of tweak my interest, it's going to lose me.
Peak.
I don't know. I feel like I'm
not even peak. Just tweak it. It's just got to find a little bit of interest in me.
Hey,
Yellow
Rhino.
Flash in the house. Hey, Yellow Flash.
I was going to say, yeah, highlight Yellow Flash.
Oh, Walmart.
G'day, mate.
Walmart.
Rhino wants to be tweaked. Confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like
a little tweak.
just like I don't know why, but this show's just got me curious. I want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's because I'm not really the biggest MCU fan there is, but this show does have my attention. It's piqued my interest, and if it keeps putting Elizabeth Olsen in tight dresses like that,
I'm
then
cool with that, yeah.
Well, didn't you see the on the promos? They got her in the old school comic book outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She looks good in that. She looks good in that, man. But like, as of now, I can see myself. Like I'm keen to see more.
Me too.
Mm.
At the moment, I am. Jeff, any last thoughts on WandaVision?
I'm just intrigued, and I want to see more of it. Yeah, it's gonna, like I said, it's probably gonna be those moments that we saw on the episode 2, especially where things are like not as they seem or out of place. Probably do more and more in each episode until they kind of like give us the explanation at the end and the full reveal, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put her
Lyndon?
in outfits again like that. We're good.
Can you show it again? Can you show it again?
I can. Lyndon,
Show it.
while I'm getting it up. Can you give your anything that you want to?
I wonder if they could mix in the multiverse with Black Panther and make it Wakanda Vision.
Oh yeah, get that mouth
There it
open.
is. Why'd you change it? Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get to. Oh. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Sorry, Lyndon.
Huh?
Have you finished? What your thoughts on this episode?
Have you finished?
I was getting this up.
We can see your hands.
Oh my god. Lethal.
Yeah.
Anything?
I was the first one to answer.
Jeff, anything?
Fucking hell, cunt.
Lyndon, anything? It's too early.
Can I say something?
You can.
No.
I like Scarlet Witch.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Those hips don't lie. That's for sure.
Me too. All right. So next week we'll probably talk a little bit about episode 3.
Oh, one thing we didn't mention was how fucking long the credits were.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the first episode, just so you all know, the first episode only goes for 22 minutes.
I can't.
The second episode goes for about 30 minutes. The first episode has 9 minutes worth of credits, and the second episode has 7 minutes worth of credits. It's just stupid.
Bruh.
And I look at something like, again, right now, everything for me is going up against Cobra Kai, right? Cobra Kai, they're able to keep consistent lengths of times of episodes, right?
Yeah, I noticed
consistent.
that.
They might be a minute or two different, right? But they're always consistent at the same rough times. The story's so good. The writing's so good. There's meaning behind it all. I'm not saying there's no meaning behind what we're watching here, but I mean, what?
Titties.
Titties. It is a little bit boring. Like, to me, it was a little bit cringe and a little bit boring. But then once I started to see that it's not really real, and like, it got my interest in what's actually going on. But yeah,
I think that Attack on Titan is better than Cobra Kai.
well, I haven't seen Attack on Titan, but screw you.
And the more I think about season 3 of Cobra Kai, the lower it drops for me, in all honesty.
No, stop saying that.
I'm in season 2 right now, so
Was I
I
drinking?
wasn't really a
I
fan.
fucking love it so much.
Hate speech. I am a hater. Remember that. I'm a gatekeeping. I'm a retarded gatekeeping hater. I'm a retarded hater.
Son of a bitch.
I'm a gatekeeping
You're a gatekeeper.
You're a gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper. All right.
retarded hater.
What the fuck are you saying?
I don't know.
I'm trying to mix in the 3 insults that I've copped into one sentence or into one thing. Anyway,
You're fucking failing.
there you go. Answer that question.
When did I say it was boring?
Yeah, you didn't actually say it was boring, did you? You just said that Clash of Titans is better.
Attack on Titan.
Are you on
You know.
crack? Dude? You
Fine.
fucked up everything.
One
man.
of them.
It's something like that. I'm with you right
You're
now.
fucking up everything, man. I said that I think Attack on Titan is better than Cobra Kai, and the more I think about season 3 of Cobra Kai, the lower it drops off. At no stage did I say it was boring.
I
Bitch.
said it was boring. I didn't say it was boring. I said WandaVision was boring.
I
well,
still
he's
think
talking
this was
to you
better than
then.
fucking Mandalorian.
Yeah, I just
I'll tell you
realized he
that.
was talking to me.
Fucking
I'll
say
come
that.
in
This is
spot
better
when
than
he's
Mandalorian.
talking to you.
fucking
WandaVision was a little boring, not Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai's not boring at all. Cobra Kai's awesome.
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai is the best thing going on right now. It really
fucking
is.
amazing. It's so good. So good.
Let's press F to kick lethal. Fuck you. I post
You
like
do
anything on
understand,
Twitter.
Lethal.
Thanks,
you do
Simon.
understand, Lethal, that if it happens, I've got to do it. Like I gotta. You know, it's all about the
Of
audience.
course you would, you cuckold. I can post like anything on Twitter, anything. And Yellow Flash will just reply with a gif of a kangaroo, and then I'll reply with a gif of Walmart.
Funny. Oh no, Sister Hera's already in there with the
Nah, she's
Uh,
tripping. She loves me.
Mhm.
stand with Lyndon.
Well, I guess someone has to.
Yeah, somebody has to talk for him. Okay, so let's go into a bit of the High Republic, and yeah,
I don't want to. Fuck Star
no,
Wars.
we have. I agree. I have a complete agreement with you, Lethal. Fuck Star Wars.
Fuck Star
But-
Wars. I got rid of most of my Star Wars stuff. I got rid of the movies. Star Wars can fucking die in a hole.
Mhm.
No
Yeah,
offense, Mara. Her name's
There's a
literally
civil
Mara.
war going on there, guys.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It has already died, and I understand. I completely agree with you, but it's news, man. Like, what's actually been happening? It's so funny. I talked about this, I think it was last week. I can't remember. It could have been in a video that I did. I don't know. It's so funny how we get that moment in The Mandalorian with Luke Skywalker and everything, and the hype is really high for Star Wars.
It's saved.
And sorry,
It's saved.
yes, it is. Thank you, Mara.
Insane.
Just start building up those triggers, guys, because I'll explode soon.
Yeah, no, tracking fobs.
Oh,
Luke used tracking fobs to find the ship.
oh good.
Thank you. Star Wars is saved. I forgot where I was.
It is, guys. What is going on?
Luke
Yes,
Skywalker.
we get that moment. Yeah, that's right. We get that moment with Luke Skywalker.
Cracking
That
fobs.
Star Wars is at like a high, like, again, there were people out there saying Star Wars is saved. And then we get Pablo Hidalgo. We get
Mark Hamill.
we
Don't
get
forget him.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, what about all this shit he does fucking damn near every day?
I just hated his thank you to John and Dave. Like, I'm hating everybody's thank you to John and Dave. Thank you for continuing to destroy Star Wars. I appreciate it.
I was okay with that because of what he got done dirty.
I agree. I
Last
understand
Jedi,
that he
so
was saying thank you for
I'm
giving
okay
my
with
character that I
him.
played and
Correct.
loved for so long as
is
such a
correct.
meaningful moment. Fine.
You for giving me a paycheck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Blake in the chat. Tracking fobs. Hyperspace is just trying to get it all out there right now. With all the
Disabled
triggers.
Jedi. Oh, wait, that's High Republic. That's High Republic. Sorry.
So, but then we also get this High Republic announcement, which was horrible.
Absolutely horrible.
Absolutely horrible. The one thing that I do want to just say as well is Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, there was that.
Yeah, may the force be
Kathleen
with you.
Kennedy, in her 2 announcements within the last couple of weeks, there was the Investor Day announcements
Mhm.
and there was the High Republic announcement. She could not seem any less. She could have. I swear she was high. She's
No, it's Botox. She can't
before
smile. She can't
she
move,
did,
yeah.
and they were videos. That's the funny thing about them. You could have re-recorded something if you wanted to, right? Before she did both of those videos, she went and just sucked down a couple of billies really quick,
with a handful of Valium. That's what I got out of it.
ripped them, and then went out and just did like one take videos. I couldn't be more excited to introduce the High Republic.
The High Republic.
Yeah. So I just
Fake
wanted to point
Republic.
that out. Like, Kathleen Kennedy and her excitement for Star Wars is just lacking so much.
It's safe.
Um,
Guys. Come on.
It leaves a lot to
It is.
desire.
The comic book is fucking terrible too. So
I
it's
haven't
so
looked.
fucking
I haven't
bad.
read any of it. I haven't looked at any of it.
it's
I know
from the-
Ryan's.
it's
I know
from the New
Ryan's
York
reading the
Times.
High Republic, and
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
read Light of the Jedi. I found it online just by accident. I found it. So.
I'll wait to see what Ryan says about it.
Well, I
hope-
downloaded that sampler and I
I
read
found the
all of
audiobook,
it
just
a
found
few
it, so.
months ago, or weeks ago. And
Yeah.
it's very weird. It's written like almost as a young adult
That's
type book.
All these
It-
writers are. Yeah.
Yeah, very not what you're used to when it comes to Star Wars, at least in the Del Rey era. So
Well, I will say I'll defend Charles Soule. I think Charles Soule is capable of writing Star Wars. He did the
I'll
Dark
agree
Vader
100%.
stuff.
Mhm.
So I think he can do good work. It just seems like the people he's around just don't seem to give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
And honestly, the High Republic is something that I personally should be really excited for. The whole idea of an interconnected,
Expanded universe.
large-scale story. That is something that's right up my alley. But yeah, no,
Caludia.
I just have no. Yeah, they even spelled her name wrong.
Caludia Gray.
It was probably
Olivia
her.
Gray.
It's probably her herself.
Yeah, well, I have to make my own name when I jump into StreamYards. I'm sure she had to do her own name. I just wanted to, again, just elaborate quickly on what I was saying. We've got the high of the Mandalorian. Then it all comes crashing down. You've got writers of your Star Wars books coming out, giving us, live long and prosper symbols, but, may the force be with you. You've got Pablo Hidalgo. Now you've got Justina Island, and that's the main one that we're going to talk about tonight. I believe.
I was going to say that I have young adult itself is not bad because even when I was college and a little bit after, there were still young adult books that were still very well written. So the young adult genre is not exactly in itself bad. It's when you have people writing it that does not either understand what they're writing or care. And that's what we're seeing both in Disney with Lucasfilm and I would say to an extent Marvel, and even in DC with their young adult crap that they're pushing right now.
Well, yeah,
Right.
and I don't want it all to be that way, right? And this first book is not supposed to be that way, and it felt that way. It's just very, very low reading level is what I got from it. So I read like the first two chapters that they released.
Some young adult novels I would not call low level, and that's because the authors actually put effort into the stories they were telling, even though like the story itself is marketed towards the younger demographic. So
Yeah, some
could still do that, but it's like you have authors that don't care or even know what they're writing about.
Yeah, and some people define like young adult not as the writing style, but like the subject matter, right?
Yeah.
Like who it's
Young
written
adult-
for.
Young adult years ago was different than young adult today.
Let's put it this way: these books,
These people are not.
the 3 or 4 chapters that I read of Light of the Jedi that they released, it reminded me of those. What was it called? Like these younger reader books that they came out with, like after Heir to the Empire. It had like Jabba's father coming back and stuff like that. I can't think of the name of it. The Trioculus saga. That's kind of the writing style that I got out of those 3 chapters. Just very, very low reader level. So, maybe young adult isn't the right way to describe it, but it just
CW
wasn't.
writers.
It wasn't intellectual at all. Pretty boring.
They're more like CW writers is what they are nowadays. I mean, look at like #1 bestsellers from 50 Shades of Grey. Go read like a fucking chapter or 2 of that book. They put that up as a bestseller. That woman was actually allowed to write a book. She's a horrible writer. I mean, my dead grandma could write better than that.
Well, and when you write like that,
I love that.
when you
bad.
write like that,
Yeah.
who do you think's going to come in, right? Like that moron that I screenshotted yesterday. Like that's the type of fan, quote unquote, that you're going to bring in.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, they get rid of us, and then they bring in people that probably won't buy a lot of merchandise and stuff like that. They just want to do it because it's trending, it's the thing, And then once that's over, who's going to prop up Star Wars? Because they've already alienated the people that have for a decade, 2 decades, 3, 4, like me.
The people that are watching The Mandalorian are going to prop up Star Wars.
That's true.
Isn't it on like the bestsellers list? The
Yeah.
first book?
It is.
Yeah, didn't sell out in a lot of places as well. They say it did, depending on how much they made. How many?
I didn't see any in Barnes and Noble yesterday, and I looked hard. So,
I just want to say, just quickly, I had to rewatch the last 4 episodes of The Mandalorian with mate because we started watching it together, and he didn't finish watching them, so I had to watch them again. I was talking the whole time he was watching it, going, "Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!" sort of thing. And so many times I kept saying to him, like, "Am I annoying you? Like, if you want me to shut up, like, I'll literally sit here and be quiet." Like, actually, at one point I said, "I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop now." And then something else happened. I'm like, "Look at this!" I was really quiet. I was actually really quiet when he went to do the face scanning thing, just because I wanted to see if he noticed it. And he's like, "What just happened there? Can they do that?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, they can. If you're not wanted by the Empire, you just need to have a face." And he laughed. Because he's a real normie when it comes to Star Wars. Anyway, I had to throw that in there. It's bad. Even a normie noticed how bad that was. But Luke's
but yeah, Ryan made a good point the other day that is this first book and this first comic going to sell, and then is it going to drop off? Because to his point, they moved this to this month so they could write off the Mandalorian's popularity, right? I don't think the Mandalorian hurt it. I think it helped it. So is it going to drop off? Don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Yeah.
I
It's
agree.
still in
I reckon
my local Barnes and Noble.
You don't want to read about the space mogwai from those pictures?
Yeah. And plants sprouting from the ground, and eating you. And oh man, that's the new use on Vong.
Target. They don't have Target over there. Get the fuck out. They're all on the Walmarts.
We have Target here. What do you mean?
Target.
We got Target.
It's from Minnesota, dude.
Yeah.
Walmart, taxes and cheeseburgers and trouser pants. That's America.
Target and Kohl's.
Yep.
Trouser pants.
You got Coles.
KOHL, not like.
Oh yeah, no, fucking not Coles. Like
Not COLE.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wallies and Coles, they're fucking assholes.
So we were watching something in a private stream last night, and Rhino got a Domino's pizza commercial, and it was really weird seeing a Domino's pizza commercial with an Australian accent. I'm like, this is like an Outback commercial, you know? So, Darlene and Domino's plate, and I'm like, what?
Only $15 delivered.
Oh,
All right. You've got the article for the Justina Island thing, don't you?
yeah, I've got it up.
Hands up, who's blocked?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I haven't checked.
If I run
I think-
camera, you see my hand. I'm blocked.
We probably all are.
I'll actually share my screen really quick before you bring
But
it up.
just
Yeah,
a
you can
note,
share yours.
I don't know if that's the name of the shop. The $2 shops. We have Dollar Generals, Dollar Trees, and Five Below. So
That's right.
Got the reject shop.
I strongly doubt she's blocked me. Unless it's
Well,
a
it's a blockchain. Look,
Yeah.
I've never interacted with her, and I just checked because, like, I wanted to see. I just saw the blockchain, and I just heard about it. So I'm like, I wonder if I've been blocked. And yeah, what do you know? I've been blocked, and I'm just like, what are you afraid of?
Mhm.
She's probably blocked everyone that follows it.
Afraid to lose. It's just like. I've been watching Ryan's videos, especially on it, and just the way that she talks about white people in general, it's absolutely disgusting. She is a true racist, a true definition of a racist.
Well, she's in the right company then.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry to anyone in the chat that doesn't believe this, but the pendulum swings both ways. It's you know,
She blocked me, and I kind of want to tweet and tag her and say, so which part of me are you discriminating against? The white part, the Middle Eastern, or the Native American?
Mhm.
That's what I said when Tim commented on that High Republic Archives tweet, and they say Star Wars is for everyone except bigots. And I said, what about the LGBTQ voices you're silencing, or she's silencing on Twitter without ever interacting with her? Seems pretty bigoted, and I get blocked.
Yeah.
By them.
Yep.
Oh, and they
Dumbasses.
removed our tweets too, by the way, our
Yeah,
replies.
fuck them. Little bitches. Stupid ass bitch. I ain't fucking with you.
That's who reads Star Wars now. That's
Yeah.
exactly who.
Stig just sent me a picture. I don't know if I can share it. Honestly, I actually don't know if I'll get in trouble for sharing this.
I'll
I'm
just
gonna.
share the
If you
fucking
think you're going to
number
get in
about
trouble
the
for
thing.
sharing, you probably shouldn't share it.
Send it to
I'm
us, and we'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you.
send it.
Yes.
With,
Put in private chat.
Send it to me. I know all about getting streams taken down.
yeah, I just put it in the. I
Yes,
just
he
put
does.
it in the full Aussie chat. Can you have a look? I'll put it in the Highgram one as well, just
Well,
in
you
case.
can't-
I'll
That's
Stig,
not how
mate.
I
Do that. Yeah, you can't click on
You
it.
can't just
Oh.
fucking link it. Oh my god, cunt.
I don't know how to do that then.
Take a screenshot and then put
Why
it
do
in
you
there.
do it? Yeah.
Yeah, just
Save it. Use that image.
Yeah.
and Save
Boomer.
yeah, if I can figure it out, you can. Come on.
it.
All right, Tim. While I'm trying to sort this out,
Yeah,
have you got
okay.
That article. Let's get into that.
Sort this
So-
out, friend.
Let's throw it to Tim.
this new age this new age subculture technology.
I'm doing it.
You want me to go
Uh-huh.
ahead and share then, or
Yes.
okay? So the first thing I
Hey,
want
send
to
it to
talk
me,
about.
Steve, since he can't figure it out. Send it to me.
I told him to.
Send it to Mara. Yeah, send it directly to them.
But-
Send it to everyone else but fucking Rhino.
Yeah, I don't know if I can show it. It's just like it could be offensive, and yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
funny as hell.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to mention here is every time this picture is used, I notice something up here at the top. Is one of these things is not like the other. Did you guys ever notice that?
No.
Wait,
What
the
am I-
picture at the top.
Well, this is a lot heavier in this area than the other three, but I don't know, just something that kind of stands out to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, a cute girl, but
Mhm. Yeah.
So this
Get it?
article is something the wonderful and amazing Ichibaka put out, about 3 days ago, on Justina Ireland's tweets and how amazingly racist they are. And we're going to go ahead and read this. So gird your loins for the damseling of Justina Ireland. Many fans have responded to Justina Ireland's public racist and misandrous, and he has hyperlinks to some other blog posts there, comments. Yep. As a result, Justina has decided to close off all dialogue and or discourse with those who are unhappy with her bigoted remarks. So here she says, and this is just a few days ago, actually. Hi, friends. A few of you have emailed to mention that my mentions have become a war zone. That's how I interpret that.
A war zone?
So I've run a chain block API to hopefully cut down on some of the noise. I'm really sorry to anyone who has come here just to talk Star Wars and ended up in Twitter warfare. So
Twitter warfare is like winning gold medals in the official Olympics.
Didn't Star Wars Explained say the same thing? Sorry to anyone who's been caught up in our blockchain who we don't fucking talk to.
Don't use a blockchain.
Don't be a puss butt.
Yeah.
It is a bit ridiculous. I just want to say to Ahsoka Tano, we covered, I don't know if you were here earlier, but we covered the first 2 episodes at the beginning of the stream. So you can always go back and rewatch just to get our thoughts on it. I thought it was intriguing. The second episode definitely intrigued me more and piqued my interest enough to watch at least the 3rd episode.
Yeah, and I should probably save this comment I'm going to make for later, but what she's really saying here is I don't want any kind of dissent. That's what she's saying. Because someone might point out to varying levels of respect, I guess you could say, like, hey, here's what I don't like about your book and you, and then one of her followers will get nasty, and then that's when the war zone starts. But the bottom line is all that starts with is somebody discussing Star Wars, maybe saying, I don't like this about your book. So these people don't want any kind of dissent or conflicting opinion, and that's how it's getting these days. And then next tweet, I think it's a continuation of this one, like in the thread. Also, while I don't usually block folks because I don't care, I realize that it sucks to log in and get randomly attacked.
Then get off the social media.
Oh, I'm attacked.
Exactly, yeah.
Get off of social media.
Yeah.
I hope this makes my corner of Twitter, her corner, a little better for people who just want to have a good time and not argue their humanity. And then, of course, you get the rainbow art chain here. So they're arguing their humanity, guys.
It's fucking Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I got called a problematic content I put in my bio.
It's Twitter.
Yeah, that's so fucking good.
Hey, did.
The other thing, too, that Justina Ireland has pretty much come out and said is if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
Yep.
She did that. She used that line.
Where have I heard that before?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to those people?
It's so stupid. Well, I'm not going to buy your book purely on the fact that, any books that come out of Disney are ridiculous, Chuck Wendig. And it's all SJW and crap. It's all virtue signaling and haircuts.
Hold on. I gotta read her tweet from 19 hours ago because I'm on a logged out account. We live in a time where people feel free to say the quiet part out loud. Woo boy. I'm really looking forward to the next time someone wants to talk to me about the oxymoron of compassionate conservatism. You want to take your own advice, you fucking idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Lyndon rages.
That was awesome.
That was a nice little casual rage moment.
Yeah, I'll take it over for you.
Yeah. I've lost my rage.
You're shit, Rhino. You're fucking shit.
I don't know what's happened to me since Star Wars has died. Like, but the whole reason why I started the channel was because I wanted to keep Star Wars alive, and everyone around me just let it die. Everyone around me let it die. Not everyone, but a lot of people around me. No, this is what I'm saying. Not everyone, but
what does anyone have to do? I don't get what you mean by that. I mean, I don't know anyone that works at Lucasfilm.
A 9.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and all the thank you John and Dave's and all of that stuff.
Have you seen the reviews for The Last of Us 2? It's the best game ever made.
It is the best game ever made.
I know, and that's why I'm like, okay, well, if that's the idea that they're getting, that this is okay and this is the best, and it's still just as bad as the sequels, well then, all right,
I pretty much don't care what professional critics and
Yeah, exactly.
like all across the board say, but like I'm looking at this situation basically as an outsider at this point, and I'm looking at these people who are praising Favreau and Filoni for this show, thinking that it's going to take Star Wars in a different direction. And I'm like, all you're telling shareholders is that Kathleen Kennedy is doing a good job because she's correcting,
That's right.
she's riding the ship. That's it. That's all you're telling
And
shareholders.
that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Everything's getting back to them. It's all good. I don't believe in the division. I believe that there's a divide in Lucasfilm to the point where people disagree with people, you know, and there's the people that do agree with each other, and there's these people over here that agree with each other. Now, if you want to call those things factions, and that there's this faction trying to stop this faction and this faction trying to stop this faction, and Kathleen Kennedy has no control over her company, well, then fucking whatever.
I don't believe I don't believe there's a civil war. I think there are people that, like you said, disagree with each other. But like, the rumor that comes out that says that the story group is upset at how like they portrayed Luke in The Mandalorian because it paints Luke in a good light. And I'm like, well, weren't there story group members that helped work on The Mandalorian? So that rumor doesn't jive with the information that's coming out of Lucasfilm. So I'm just saying, like people want to believe. I think people want to believe this just because it's like they're holding on to like this fool's hope that Star Wars the course is getting corrected, and I'm like, no, it's going right to the sequel trilogy. It's even in the line. They still have the sequel trilogy, which means Mandalorian leads into that, which means they had to connect Mandalorian to the sequel trilogy. I'm sorry, all roads lead to the alien titty. There it is.
Absolutely.
And the thought that they're going to use the world between worlds, the veil of the Force, whatever the fuck you want to call it, or they're going. It's the world between worlds. It was made up by Doomcock. It was a better way. It was a better title for what it should have been. And that's why I don't like people coming up with stuff like that, because it basically gets back to Disney. And I bet you the next time we get an episode that has it, it'll be called The Veil of the Force or something like that. It's like, you know, renaming a tracking fob because a tracking fob's a fucking whatever. Anyway, so the whole idea of them either resetting the timeline or something using the Veil of the Force or the world between worlds, see, this is what happens. World between worlds is stupid because they have to go all the way back to Palpatine dying and stop him from saving himself is how I see it. And that's just, wow. I don't know how they're supposed to do that. I do need to do that video, and I'm sorry. I've just lost all want to do it. And the other rumor about them just changing the narrative that Luke did what he did so that they could so that he could save Grogu, or
we figured that one out. That one works.
Oh yeah.
How does that work?
Kylo Ren raped Grogu so much.
That was a little gem that Greg left us with before he left us.
Yes.
Yeah. Man.
Why do you have to talk about it?
I'm just saying he left the streaming with us. It's not like I'm not implying that he's fucking dead or anything.
What a way to put it.
He's no longer with us.
My God. But yeah, you basically, all you need to do in that rumor is to change the narrative in your head, and then that makes it okay. I actually wanted to make this analogy in regards to the Mandalorian stuff, right? Star Trek is really bad right now. You're the Trekkie on here, Tim, right?
Sure,
and it's really bad right now with STD. Star Trek Discovery.
You got a bad STD, what?
Star Trek Discovery. It's STD.
Okay.
I can't believe they...
Yeah, it's worse. I'd say Doctor Who is the worst, but Star Trek is
I want to use Star
agree
Trek
with that
as an example because I at least understand the Star Trek universe enough to use my analogy here. So this is how bad of writing and law breaking and everything the Mandalorian is. And this is how I view the reaction from the fans in regards to the Luke Skywalker scene. If you're watching STD, Star Trek Discovery, with how bad it is, the pronoun stuff and all of that, and at the very end of one of the seasons, Captain Kirk shows up and has a really, really, really good moment, really good character moment, and all of this kind of stuff, that means that STD is now a really fucking good show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god,
That's
Captain
my
Kirk.
example.
Oh my god.
That's what happened.
Oh,
Show the meme. It's not that bad.
oh, that is so wrong and funny at the same time.
All right, I'll show it. Will I get in trouble?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I'll take one for the Sable team. You're fine to show it.
Oh, you'll take one. My channel will take one. Here you go, guys. I'll show it in a second. When the High Republic hits you hard. All right, that's enough. Yes. So anyway, that's the example that I wanted to give, and that's the example of how people have been reacting to The Mandalorian.
No, it sounds like you're making it sound like that. That's how people have been reacting to The Mandalorian.
Oh, nah. Well, yeah, it kind of is. Kind of true.
The Mandalorian hits you hard.
Sorry, we kind of went off on a tangent there. We were talking about Justina Island, but it all kind of rolls into everything to do with Star Wars. It's like I said, we had this apparent high with, The Mandalorian, and then it all comes crashing and burning down with all of this other garbage that happens. But yet Star Wars is still saved. It's on the right track, at least with The Mandalorian. I hear people talking about all this controversy going on with, Justina Island, and you've got the Claudia Gray doing her Vulcan thing, and you got Pablo Hidalgo attacking the fans. But The Mandalorian is the exception, because that's from the Favreau camp. The Kennedy camp are the ones doing all of this garbage.
It's appealing to authority.
Handle
It's a
that
logical
narrative.
fallacy.
I just can't.
It's Favreau, so it's good.
feel. That's such a ridiculous thing. I don't.
And
get
think
that.
about this. To take the drug analogy a step further, you've given them their first taste. Here's Luke. Now you have them hooked. How are you going to keep coming up with stuff to keep them hooked? That's not a good story. That's just here's Luke. Here's this. Here's Thrawn trilogy. We heard that rumor. Here's this. You're not going to be able to keep up with it. And you've dug the hole deeper.
Yep.
So. It's a bad situation they're in my opinion.
You may as well read on, Tim.
Yeah. So,
a bit of this.
and then Itchy goes on. Justina herself has no qualms about calling the humanity of white people and men into question on a routine basis, but apparently that doesn't suck. What the Force, which I guess is what the fuck play on words account, says one of the issues of Star Wars Twitter. I'm happy you are okay though, Justina. I'm used to it, unfortunately, but I hate to see fans who just want their share of love to get dogpiled. Oh, yeah, you're such a hero for standing up for the fans.
I bet it's a male feminist who wrote that.
Oh, yeah. Big
Yeah.
time simp.
Absolutely.
So get ready for the
Hold
legacy
up.
media.
Horny Rhino in the chat. Why aren't you all naked? Bitch, how do you know I'm not? I'm not on camera for a reason.
Oh
Wow.
my god. Wow.
So get ready for the legacy media to print articles that will damsel Justina Ireland as she attempts to play the victim. And then he got this. Is this a horror movie, Jeff?
I don't know.
Like a play on a horror movie?
Man.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Coming to a garbage tier article near you. And then Maggie Lovett replied in Justina Ireland's thread. Let's check out her profile. Managing editor of entertainment. Your money geek. Money. I don't want her touching my money. I'll tell you that much. HGATM podcast, Ass to Mouth, I guess. Star Wars Friend Show, SAG-AFTRA, and Dork Side of the Force. She, her. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm
Likes do not equal endorsing. Do you hear that?
I'm blocked by her too.
Me too.
Take care of yourself, Justina. I know the source of the ire directed your way came from a very specific blog that loves targeting people. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. And then Itchy says, what I do, Maggie, is comment on the publicly broadcast statements of known creators, quote unquote. Garbage tier outfits like the ones you work for do this routinely as well. In any case, if you would like to discuss these matters with Justina, you can find an invitation here. What's this?
Look at
JJ, mate.
Oh my god.
Hey, Lyndon
Oh
Swab.
my god.
That's great.
Well, on that note, I have to get going. I have to be up pretty early in the morning for a bit of running around. But yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
coming by.
Later, man.
Well, we will be watching WandaVision next week and probably doing another full Aussie review. So get ready for that on Lethal's channel. Anything else that you want to sort of plug or let anyone know about before you leave, Lethal? I almost.
We'll have our stream tomorrow, and I believe the Geek Blend will be our guest. Correct?
Woo.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
I will.
It's gonna be a Yeah, you picked a good one to come on.
Oh, good. Good.
He hasn't told us.
That's what she said.
That's what it's ironic, actually. Yeah, she did actually, ironically, for this stream. No, that's about it. Yeah, I'll keep it on the wall.
Did you get Belle Delphine to come on?
I messaged her. I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna." She hasn't. There's no way she'll ever see it. There's no way she'll ever see it. But I messaged her. Fuck it, I'm gonna message Belle Delphine, see what happens. Absolutely no reply. I wasn't expecting anything, but you never know if you don't try, right? But yeah. So
Sure.
yeah, I have to get going, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
No worries. See you then. Thanks for coming on.
See you later.
Bye.
Later, man.
Later, dude. Awesome. Continue, Tim.
Yeah, so then another tweet from Justina. Reminder that E.K. Johnston, who's another nutto, and I will be in conversation at some stupid account this Thursday. Come hang out with us and talk some Star Wars. So, and then he posts an Anna video and Mr. H and Ryan videos. So yeah, this is pretty tame from Justina.
Yeah.
And this isn't new, right? She's been doing this for years. This is just in the news right now because of the High Republic. She has said some terribly racist things, like just
Steve sent me
white
another
people,
meme.
this and that.
Steve sent me another meme.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
You want to share? Is it one that I'll go share really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me hold on. Let me go back to.
Like a really quick one?
Yeah.
But no nudity, right?
No, there's no nudity.
Extra nudity.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Thank you. I was trying to find them anyway.
You should have put butterflies around her head and it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Star Wars right now for me is I held on to so much hope for so long, and to see the show Mandalorian getting what it's getting, praise wise, all of that sort of thing. Now I know that there are people out there that are still saying it's got its problems, but I like it and all of that kind of thing. And it's fine to enjoy it on the surface, but I still, we still got to be sort of sending the right message to Lucasfilm, and it's not up to the standard of Star Wars in my eyes. And with everything that's going on with Justina, with the High Republic,
Yeah.
I don't see how we've turned a corner. I don't see how it's getting any better.
It's not.
I'd rather actually pay more attention to the MCU right now, and I know that that's turning into the MCU, and I'd still probably rather watch that. And the reason why is because I don't have as much love for the MCU as I do for Star Wars. So every time I sort of watch Star Wars and see it and everything, it breaks my heart every time, because it's like, oh man, again, like I said, I watched those last 4 episodes, and we got to the one where he takes him to the temple. And I'm like, how easy was that to find? And my mate's like, yeah, like straight away they find this temple on this planet that's supposed to be so hard to find. And then I'm like, oh, wait until they team up, him and Fennec Shan, and watch how many times he gets hit. And she's sitting right next to him and doesn't get touched. Like, so many glaring out points in just simple storytelling. I mean, that's got nothing to do with lore or continuity, really. That's just bad storytelling. It's glaring out points within the story.
Yeah.
You know, it's not until you get to like hyperspace, again, thank you, Blake. It's not until you get to hyperspace, stuff like that, where you start destroying the actual lore within that universe. I don't know. I'm sick of this whole. I'm so sick of like everyone that disagrees with everyone is a racist or a Nazi or a fucking whatever. I hate seeing the fact that these people, like Justina Island, can be employed and protected under the guise of the color of her skin, right? For the sake of her being a racist. And her going out and simply saying to Star Wars fans, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Well, guess what? No one's going to buy it. No, there's not a lot of Star Wars fans, especially EU ones, the ones that bought books within Star Wars in the past, that are actually going to go to that and read it and actually, like, I'm very curious to see what Ryan thinks. Like, he's the only one that I know at the moment that's actually sitting down and reading it.
Well, and as Ryan pointed out, like Sewell, however you pronounce his name, he has at least gone out of his way not to put his dog shit politics on social media, even though we know he has to have those views. Otherwise, he wouldn't be allowed into the fold, right? So, you know, credit to Ryan for being fair. He has a lot more tech than I would, because I just have no interest in like reading that stuff. But
I will say that's the thing that I like about Ryan is he's got a very unique way of seeing things. Like, I know he would be in, well, I don't know this, but I would assume that he would be in agreement with a lot of my views on Star Wars. And yet I watch his videos and I'm like, man, I wish I could do a video like that, where it's kind of like just giving the news. Yes, you're giving your view, but like, I do struggle to sometimes see it from the other side of the fence. You know what I mean? Like, especially with The Mandalorian. I struggle to see how people actually do get enjoyment out of it. Like I said, I sat down and watched it again. It was actually painful to watch. I mean, I don't know how much a lot of people in the chat right now are getting rewatchability out of The Mandalorian. How many people in the chat right now have rewatched Mandalorian season 2, the entire thing? I'm curious. Has anyone here on the panel? I know, Mari, you haven't, because you're not watching it at all. But
well, I started to, because I'm trying to do those breakdown videos for the season, but it's so fucking hard to get through the episodes. It's a fucking chore, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing. Like, you know, Cobra Kai, again, somebody mentioned earlier, I can't remember who it was, you know, the Cobra Kai killed Raging Rhino. I'll disagree with that, because I got plenty of rage to give. Don't worry, it'll come back. But like Cobra Kai, the standard of Cobra Kai has really shown that there are still people out there that are able to create these things. You've just got to get the fans in the story group. That's what it really comes down to. You got to get people. And honestly, honest to God, you got to get people like Ryan in that story group. A person that would be able to, like, you know, whether or not he'd want to do a job like that. I'm just saying, a fan that knows it and can see it, like how.
Well, they have people that know it.
Tim should be in the story group.
Yeah,
Tim should run it. Tim should run it.
They've got Leland Chi and Pablo Hidalgo, and we know Pablo. We know what he is, but both of those guys know enough. But they're just symbolic at this point, because they could have stopped a lot of what's going on. But I think it's very political now, because back in the day, George and all them would probably go to those guys and, well, maybe not before Clone Wars, the cartoon, but they would go to them and say, what about this and that? And then Leland would say, no, this isn't right. And he's still in the story group because he was in that picture that came out about a week ago. I'm like, he's around still? So that proves that they're just there to be there, because they could have stopped a lot of this hyperspace stuff and all that business, but they didn't. So it means they're either not being consulted or they are, and the writers just don't care what their input is. So they have the people, they just don't care. They're lazy.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious. You've watched it multiple times. What do you think? Let me know in the chat.
What a great name.
Yeah. Because again, like on the second watch through, it got worse for me. It got worse for me on the second watch through. Every episode from sitting down and seeing the glaring out points, like I was saying, like the simple things like the Mando being shot 1 million times and all of that sort of stuff. Seeing all of that again, it really just everything happened so that the next thing could happen. Like, again, putting down the jetpack, I'm like, did you notice something there? He's like, yeah, this is my mate. I'm saying, did you notice something there? And he's like, yeah, he didn't pick up his jetpack. I'm like, yeah, how quick could he get to the top? And I'm like, for the whole episode, I'm like, where's his jetpack? And he's like, yeah. And I said to him, I go, he can remote control that, right? You remember that from a previous episode? And he's like, oh, yeah. Like, even more like realizing how bad that actually is. But yet Luke Skywalker.
Even
like, I'm now using the "but Luke Skywalker" now as a meme.
Yeah,
but
Luke
Skywalker.
But even his ship and the Imperials, they could have hovered up there. Nothing would have stopped them from putting it. They have repulsor lifts, but they landed so far away that it made no sense. You don't even have to know the lore to know that this, plot-wise and logic-wise, makes no sense.
A couple of things that my mate pointed out, and again, he's a normie when it comes to Star Wars, was in that same episode when the Imperial shuttle comes down, the first one, and then the second one comes
right next to it.
He goes, why don't they come down at the same time and flood them? I'm like, yeah, exactly. Why didn't
the Dark Troopers come down the first time?
Come down at the same time. But then there was another thing that he pointed out. I'm trying to remember now. Oh, that's right. The fuel. You know how they hijacked the thing on the wheels? He actually asked, he goes, why is it on wheels if it's that volatile? If it can explode just from them speeding up? Mm-hmm. He actually asked that. And again, I'm like, oh my God, thank God there's a normie sitting right next to me that's not a massive Star Wars fan. He's enjoyed watching the Star Wars that I've introduced him to in the last couple of years. And he's actually able to acknowledge the fact that these are actually glaring writing problems and outpoints and issues within the show, and actually makes the show a bad show. And there's nothing wrong with saying that it's a bad show. I'm sorry, John and Dave. It's not that good.
Oh, I have one. I can write it for them again. We have to use the juggernauts because repulsor lift fields make that stuff explode. One line, it's fixed. If they really wanted to have this thing where we have to drive it in. But otherwise, Empire has, they have walkers and stuff, but they also have tanks and stuff that do have repulsor lift technology. So, yeah. The whole show, there's no thought into it. I write. I don't know if I ever told you guys that. But anytime I write something, I go back and I pick it apart myself. Like, if I'm someone else, how could I, pick the story apart and say this sucks? And then I change stuff, but apparently they don't do that.
No, you would think that all this would be everybody would sit down in a room, go over the story as they're writing it, and be like, "Wait, that doesn't make sense. We got to change it to this."
Yeah.
Does anybody understand how things work and how things make sense, or are they all just like, "No, that sounds really cool. Let's do that." However, you get to that point, just do it because that sounds fucking cool. That's exactly what it seems like they do.
I'm glad that you
don't
did
question.
that.
Get ready for next product.
Yeah, I'm glad that you did that so that you could remove the emotion from it and the rose-tinted glasses, so to speak. Like you when you're watching, like even me, when I watched some of Mandalorian for the first time, it was like, yeah, this isn't too bad because it is better than the sequel trilogy, but it's only better than the sequels because it doesn't do any character destruction to original characters. Well, Not yet, anyway. I mean,
Not
they're
yet.
still
Just
yet
give
to
it time.
tell us how Boba Fett survived, and they're still yet to tell us how
He got cut though.
And how was he a surgeon now?
Bib Fortuna survived. And again, they can't pluck that from the EU and say, oh, they've already explained that over there because they decanonized it. So don't tell me that you've just got to pluck that out. It's like saying you've got to pluck out a chapter of this entire book, but the rest of the book isn't canon.
Yep.
That chapter is canon. No, that's not how it works. And that is so funny. Look at the logo.
Oh my god, are you
Oh my
kidding me?
gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah, take that off the screen, man. Holy shit. I said a second ago, how many fucking Rhino accounts are there? Jesus.
And hello,
Hey,
Zachariah.
I mean, dude, Steak hit the nail on the head in the chat. If the writer can't explain who, how, and why the writing isn't good with Disney Star Wars, the problems are always with the how. That's correct. They can't not explain their writing. I mean, there's no way.
Whew. Am I really risking my channel bringing that up? Am I?
You'll have to go back and edit it out after the stream.
Probably.
You know how to do that? I can show you if you don't.
Yeah, I haven't done it through YouTube.
Okay.
It's probably
It's easy.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just Star Wars.
Cobra Kai's good.
It's so funny. I go through so many emotions when it comes to Star Wars that I got the peaks and the troughs of the emotions of it. Because right now I'm like almost at this state of apathy again on it, where like I don't even want to think, really talk about Star Wars. Yeah, look, I'm talking about this because it's just showing. To me, it's actually validating what I'm saying. They're not on the right track. They're not doing the right things. I don't disagree with the factions. I don't. I disagree with that there's the factions. I think that there's disagreement within Lucasfilm, like we were saying earlier, but I don't think that it comes to the point where Kathleen Kennedy doesn't have any control. And I just don't know with Star Wars anymore. I just, I kind of deep down, I really wish that there was a way that they could turn this around. But, if even if let's say they were to say decanonize the sequel trilogy, to me that means that they've got to decanonize the Mandalorian.
They're not going to decanonize anything, dude.
No.
I'm just saying, if that was to happen, to me, the Mandalorian does just as much.
They would have to decanonize the Mandalorian because they brought in a character from the books, Cobb Vanth, from the Aftermath trilogy. So if they decanonize the sequel trilogy, which ties into the books, tie into the movies, so you got to decanonize the books, which means that you will decanonize Mandalorian because they're bringing characters in from the books.
They can't
And
even keep their
they
own
referenced
things.
Operation Cinder. So
Yeah.
Also, the
popularity
whole
of
thing with Cobb Vanth.
Grogu. The popularity of Grogu would no way would they ever
There's no way.
decanonize Mando.
Don't forget
No
with Cobb
way.
Vanth, too. They completely changed his fucking story from the book. It's completely different in the show.
Yes, sorry, we
They don't
did
even know their own
talk about,
fucking thing.
just quickly. We did talk about WandaVision earlier. It's at the beginning, the first hour of the stream. We pretty much talked about WandaVision. So if you do want to go back, you can go back and rewatch that. It's a very interesting show at this stage. I'm like this on it right now. It's really got to capture me in the next episode or two, and if it doesn't, I'll probably be out. So
maybe we can give
Right.
our
Go
thoughts
watch
on the
Cobra Kai.
magician's outfit later, though.
Correct.
Again,
I don't like the argument it's for kids because one, you're dumbing it down way too much. Like even
they
when
made it for kids.
even when I was a kid, they did not insult my intelligence with either the cartoons or the books. And two, the big way to get kids into something is if the adults are passionate about it as well. So if the adults aren't passionate, or anything like that, what's going to drive the kids to want to watch it?
Well,
I mean, a kid's not going to look at the MCU and like all of a sudden like be into the MCU. No, like the kid's watching it because his dad or his mom is watching it.
Well,
And-
okay, let me put it to you this way. You know how I've been saying recently, George made Star Wars for normies, but he kept the lore and the continuity in place for the hardcore fans.
Mhm.
I also put that down to George made Star Wars for kids, but also kept the deep and meaningful moments for the adults. Do you remember watching Star Wars as a kid? Does it mean the same to you as an adult as it did as a kid? Does it mean more to you as an adult than it did as a kid? Because for me, it does.
Well, more, yes, because when I watched it, I was 3, and I was just more excited with seeing the lightsaber.
flashy lights,
Yeah.
the lightsabers, it was that deep story that Star Wars tells meant nothing to any of us as a kid. It wasn't until we got older that we started to go, holy shit, like how deep does that, like that's pretty deep, it's what, and that's what I'm saying. Like George was able to capture kids' imagination through it, but he was also able to tell a really solid story for the adult fans. And it's the same thing about making Star Wars for normies and being able to keep lore and continuity there for the hardcore fans, so that when they deep dive into it, it still makes sense.
And Kyle,
And when
you get to be into all Star Wars projects, I'm just saying that argument is a cop out to.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like made for kids. The argument is a cop out. I'm not into it. I checked out.
It's like saying that the reason why the stormtroopers in the Mandalorian being so dumb is okay is because in the OT, the stormtroopers are dumb as fuck, which I completely disagree with.
Agreed. Yeah.
Anytime that they are shown to be incompetent, it's for a reason, and other than them being beaten up by teddy bears in Return of the Jedi. That's probably the only one. But just because it was done then doesn't mean it was okay, and it doesn't mean that it's okay to continue on with that trope.
Well, and to take your thought earlier, like the people liking it now, liking the Disney trilogy, liking The Mandalorian, not all of them, because we know some people probably have rose-colored glasses on, but the people that like Disney Star Wars, when they get older, the younger ones, when they get older, the deepness isn't going to be there. The depth isn't going to be there, right? So they probably won't like it anymore. They're not going to be long-term fans. They're going to be like, oh, man, I like this because there's a bunch of laser swords and space wizards, right? They're not going to like it as we grew up and said, wow, there's story here. There's family drama. There's Campbellian archetypes, all that type of stuff. So that's why I think they've screwed themselves if they want to keep Star Wars as a long-term franchise, because the people right now, because once we get older, because we're going to die before they do, right? It's just a fact. The people that are young now and have been young since 2015, I don't think they're going to like it in 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
Well, Justina Island's book, okay, they've been saying that on the New York Times bestseller list, these two books, Light of the Jedi is number 1. It's actually number 2 at the moment, and number 1 on hardcover. And the Justina Islands one, A Test of Courage, is actually number 2, but it's in children's middle grade section, number 2. So
yeah, it's a kiddie book. Yeah,
it's in children's section. So don't give me that crap about that. That's how they're trying to twist the argument. It's 1 and 2 on NYT's bestseller. I'm like, well, one of them's in the children's section, okay?
Yeah. Jesus.
I mean, the other thing that shows to me that The Mandalorian's really bad and that they actually still don't know what they're doing is tracking fobs.
Oh, no. Fuck off.
No, seriously for a second. Lyndon, seriously for a second.
I know, I've been for fucking 4 months.
Yeah, well, you're going to continue to hear about it because it's stupid. It's something that they bring in. It's something that they completely drop. You get Star Wars Theory putting tweets out there saying, oh, why did they put a tracking beacon on the thing when they had tracking fobs? And then all somebody has to say is, what's his name removed it. The Nick Nolte character from season 1 removed the thing from Grogu, which isn't established anywhere in any of the episodes
It's
that any
not.
of that happens.
No, I
and
don't know
he
why
goes,
he said that.
oh, yeah, cool, that's right.
Man,
And he removed his tweet and that's it. Like, they haven't explained tracking fobs. Okay, so does Luke Skywalker explain tracking fobs away for anyone? Like, I mean, I don't know.
May I ask a question just real fast? What the hell does FOB stand for?
Oh, fucked if I know. That's what it should stand for.
I know in the military what it stands for, but like, because we
Stands for, you know what it stands for? Fuck off bullshit.
full, yeah,
that's better than mine, the one I just put in the chat.
yeah. That's
Fuck off
Bullshit.
bullshit.
I like that. Yeah, that's good too.
I see that name, and I'm like, I know what it means in the military because we use that acronym as an acronym literally, but I don't know what it's supposed to mean in Star Wars.
I think they just mean like your keychain, your key fob, like
Well,
for
that's
your car.
That's
I think
exactly what I think they mean. Yeah.
Nobody knows how tracking fobs work, Lord Vader. Now, you're a person that enjoys The Mandalorian, and I understand and I appreciate that. But does Luke Skywalker's moment explain that away for you? Or do you just ignore that fact altogether?
Or does Luke Skywalker's presence explain why the cargo ship from the Mon Calamari colony couldn't jump to hyperspace? That was the plot. That was the point of the whole end of the episode. But then Gideon's could.
Now, I also want to point out that in this show, it's been established that ships can jump into hyperspace from inside atmosphere. So when the Mandalorians hijack that ship and the captain who's on the bridge says, when can we make the jump to hyperspace? They should have just said, all we need to do is clear some of this water and we're gone.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But he goes, we've got to get out of the harbor before we can actually go out into atmosphere. And he goes, pull up now. You remember that bit? Why didn't they just jump?
Exactly.
I mean, it's okay. All right. I mean, again, I put this up against Cobra Kai. There's no way that there was one episode in either season of The Mandalorian that trumped not one episode from Cobra Kai. None of it.
None.
It's not even on the same fucking stratosphere as fucking Cobra Kai.
All right.
Not even close.
I will, like, Lethal's not here. He probably would, basically cream his pants because I'm agreeing with him to an extent. But I'm watching Attack on Titan as well. And it is a very good show. If you actually, get past the animation, because that's what a lot of people can't get past. It's actually a very good show. It's set in a dystopian future.
I can't do it.
And I'm just about finishing with season 1, and it's hooked me, just like Cobra Kai did. Now, would I argue that it's better than Cobra Kai? I don't think I would go that far. I'd say that I like them for different reasons. Because each, Cobra Kai does nostalgia well as continuing the story. Whereas Attack on Titan, like I said, I love dystopian future settings. So,
yeah.
But those shows that I'm watching now are proof that you can do good shows.
Yeah.
I don't know what is wrong with Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is Roomstig, but I am sort of going to wrap up. I suppose I'll send it out to him. Let's get his thoughts on it real quick. I know he'd want to jump in. Continue to talk amongst yourselves while I...
Attack on Titan Season 1 is on Netflix now, Lord Vader. You can only watch one season on it, and it'll be on Netflix until February 1st, and then it's off. So...
Hey, Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Hail the Fox.
Yeah.
I completely, look, I know that there's a lot of people out there that did like the Luke Skywalker moment and still think that it's not really that good of a show. I understand that there is that. What my actual biggest problem is the what this is showing Lucasfilm. I understand that it's, we're really talking about that one moment with Luke, but what they see is this show is really good. And again, that last episode of season 2, I think, is one of the worst written episodes.
It was bad.
From the
really
entire
bad. Absolutely
from
terrible.
The entire show. I watched it twice because I actually did a video on it. I was confused by, again, how much praise this was getting. It was after I saw that the IMDb score was 9.9 out of 10 or whatever it was, 9.5 out of 10 or whatever. Hey, Stig, how you doing, mate?
Hi. You're still talking about the IMDb thing.
Oh, man, it's just,
What's it
saying,
at right now? Let's check.
This is what gets back to Lucasfilm, and this is what they care about. I know that we don't care about it, and it means nothing to us, but they do.
I just came on to spank Mora.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, I'm not gonna be able, real fast. I'm not going to be able to do the geek. I keep calling it
High Ground.
Raging Geek Jedi show. It's the high ground. I won't be able to be on the high ground this Saturday. I can't do my stream as well. I have to get up really early on Sunday. So Stieg, you have a fighting chance.
No.
Oh wow.
Oh.
There you go. Now, I just made your day, so you can thank me later.
Yes, Steph. I was
It's
talking
not
earlier.
the same without you.
What?
Yeah. It's not the same without you, Mara.
I know, but it's just, I mean, like, there's going to be other Saturdays. Yes, I will not be able to do, but like just the Saturday, and then the week after, I will be able to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spank myself. That's weird.
Oh,
I mean, you can. It's weird, but you can.
Do it live.
No.
It's so funny that you say that, Steph, because I was talking earlier. I don't know if you were here, but I was just saying how I go through these emotions with Star Wars, and I've like hit this state of apathy. But it's a kind of a state where I honestly, a couple of weeks ago, I honestly felt like I'd lost like a loved one. You know, I that's the feeling that I had in my stomach, was like, it's dead. It's actually died.
Imagine what it was like in 2014 when they
Yeah, no, I
got
couldn't
rid of the
imagine.
EU and Knights of the Old Republic and the Jedi Knight games. All of it just out the window. It doesn't count.
yeah, I
And
was
you're
very
sitting there.
skeptical when they bought it, and then when that happened, I honestly wasn't surprised, but it didn't lessen the blow.
Is that the IMDb score?
Yeah. So it's gone down. You know, I gave it a 1 whenever it came out because that's the way I felt about it, and I explained in various venues why I feel that way.
Went down a whole 1/10 of a point.
From 42,000 votes, it gets a 9.8 out of 10, and it's because of that one scene. Like, that's not a good message to be sending.
Well,
So-
No, it's not.
it's
So
kinda
think
like
about this.
Kind of like Rogue One. You take out the Vader scene, it's an average film. It's an average film. It's better than the sequel trilogies. I will give it that. But the changes they made to Gareth Edwards, I want to see Gareth Edwards' original cut. I want to see what he was originally going to give us, because we were supposed to see like a storming the beach sort of scene, which we never got in the movies. I wanted to see what he was going to give us, if it's going to be a war movie or not. And we got a like Rebels without a clue until the third act, and then it's just like the actions picks up. I'm like, okay, I'm not saying I need action in every Star Wars film I watch, but you have to make me care about the characters. And at that point, the only character I cared about was K2SO.
Yep, I know.
When it comes to Disney movies on IMDb, though, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because last year I remember they got busted having piles of people in India boosting Captain Marvel on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was John Talks delved into that one. So it was weird. All of a sudden, it got 20,000 tens or whatever, and all the reviews were identical.
Well, think about this, like Mr. Miyagi, right? Like, we watched the third episode or the third season just in a couple of days, my wife and I, and one of those Miyagi flashback scenes, like, she looked over and, you know, she sees tears coming from my eyes, and I didn't get anywhere near that with Skywalker. I was very apathetic. I just was. I tried. I'm just like, feel something, and there was nothing there. But the Miyagi scenes, holy shit.
Yep. I think this is why, for me, I got more annoyed about the Luke Skywalker scene, because I saw that Luke Skywalker scene as a backhanded insult. Like, also too, like, he wasn't needed in that scene. Like, he didn't need to save them. Mando had the Darksaber. He could have literally walked through and sliced through a lot of those droids. You know, he's also got a pure Beskar spear that he killed one of those droids with. It was purely there for the fan service. Again, on that second watch through as well, like, there was a lot of talk about, you know, why wouldn't Luke ask why this Moff is here? Why am I standing in an Imperial shuttle? Like, let's take this entire ship and everything back to the New Republic. Put this guy under arrest. Like, all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There was, and even the moment where Grogu and R2 are talking to each other, and I'm sitting there going, man, there's literally 2 minutes where all these humans are standing in this room, literally just looking at each other, not saying anything. And these two are, oh man, it's written again. You put it up against Cobra Kai, and yes, of course, you would say that. Watch it, Greg. You should watch it.
Yeah, best written show in 10 years.
I shouldn't be telling you to watch it.
I think you should watch it too. It's great.
Mm.
I'm on season 2 now, so I'm loving it.
See, Cobra Kai puts a smile on my face every time I think Cobra Kai. It's like Cobra Kai is fucking awesome. It is so fucking good. I told my friends about it. They like their daughter said that she started watching it and she didn't like it, and I'm like, you guys really need to watch it. You guys really need to watch it. She messages me tonight saying we're watching Cobra Kai. I fucking love this show, and it was everybody loves this show. It's because the writing's done well, the nostalgia's done well, the member berries, for want of a better way of putting it, is done well. Everything about it is done really well, and I don't know. Thank you, John and Dave, for doubling down on continuity issues, law breaking,
writing issues,
writing issues, doubling down on stormtroopers being dumb as fuck when they're actually not. When I finally buy,
they also made the Dark Troopers worse than the Stormtroopers.
Oh man, they sucked.
They did actually. I actually can't wait for when I buy StreamYards, because I'm going to get the clip of Obi-Wan saying only Imperial Stormtroopers can be so precise. Just for moments like this. Anyway. Did you want to add anything, Stick?
To The Mandalorian, competent writing.
Yeah. Did you actually watch it?
I just watched some clips on your channel and on YouTube and shit.
Yeah, and then you watched a review.
Looks like I didn't miss anything.
You didn't.
That's the real Dark Trooper right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I think about how much I'm looking forward to season 4 of Cobra Kai compared to how much I'm looking forward to season 3 of Mandalorian, or the Book of Boba Fett, or the Obi-Wan series, or any of those announced shows coming from Lucasfilm, that's in the rearview mirror in comparison to Cobra Kai. I can't wait for the next season of Cobra Kai. Anyway, I do want to wrap this up because we've gone for 2 hours and it is now nearly 2:30 in the morning here. So I'd like to thank all my guests for coming on and talking some WandaVision. For all those in the chat, if you are here late and you wanted to see our thoughts on WandaVision, it was the first hour of the stream, so you can go back and rewatch that if you feel so obliged. Lyndon, thank you for coming on. Anything that you want to add? Anything about WandaVision or Star Wars or anything that you've got coming up? Please let us know.
What have I got coming up? I'll just do some news, do some articles, Geeks and Gamers, geeksandgamers.com. Hit them up. And Full Aussie tomorrow night. Maybe jumping on. Oh, wait, it's called High Ground now, isn't it?
High Ground. You got to get into. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there is a little Easter egg in the intro where it's a tribute to the Raging Geek Jedi show.
Yes.
So if you keep your eye out, I'm not going to tell you where it is, but there's a little Easter egg out there that you can find. And I'd like to say I'd give you a prize for the first person that can pick it, but I got nothing to give you, so fuck off. So, Lyndon, yeah, you've been doing a lot of videos. Sorry, did you have anything coming up? Then that's it, really.
Just whatever happens, man. Whatever I see, start posting shit.
Cool.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah,
Macaulay Culkin.
Go and subscribe to Lyndon, please, everyone, and thanks again for coming on. Open airlock policy, Tim. Thank you for coming on once again.
Yeah, always.
Anything that you've got coming up, or?
I kind of got lazy yesterday. I went out on the town, so my local used bookstore is down again because one person, got a positive test case. So I'm at the point where I'm just going to order all my Star Wars books from eBay because I think they're freaking out too much and it's pissing me off that I drove all the way across town and they're closed. Anyway, I should have been making videos yesterday. I have a one that's going to require like 6 hours of research and video editing and all that. So Stieg will be excited about that.
Oh,
Then I still have to finish that outro. I didn't get back to it last night. So I'm going to do that. So hopefully by Saturday night, I'll have a video out, maybe a couple. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for having me on. It's always fun on this show. So
Yes, we casually rage. I
Yeah.
sometimes find it. Don't worry, something will happen in Star Wars very soon that'll just I'll unleash. I can't wait for it because I know it's coming, but we'll see. Thank you for coming on, Tim. Please, everyone, go and subscribe to Tim, Open Airlock Policy. He's got some great videos, great lore videos. He's got his
Expanded University.
Expanded University.
Yep.
So go and check that out. So yes, very, very good. Jeff, thank you for coming on, my friend. What have you got coming up? Any last?
Yeah, my WandaVision review is up. Okay, I think it went live right before we started. I have another video coming out today. My thoughts on the Hot Toy Short Trooper from Rogue One that they're re-releasing as a squad leader. A couple other videos this weekend as well too. Of course, High Ground on Saturday night here in the States, and of course Saturday morning the full Aussie, which I will be on as well too. So check that out.
Yes, definitely.
And probably Cobra Kai reviews coming next week. So
Yes.
I've got to do those as well. I really got to get into that. I should maybe do that this week.
And something along those lines, there's that thing we're talking about with Cobra Kai. So
as soon as
everyone
I'm done,
out there, be on the lookout. Yeah.
Yep. Mara, thank you for coming on. Have you got anything coming up? You're obviously not doing your stream this week.
I might have a video today. I don't know. I mean, other than WandaVision and Star Wars, which two things I either don't care about or have watched yet. There's really not much in the way of news right now. So I might return to making videos for my channel next Monday, and then basically get back on a regular schedule.
Nice.
I liked your video though about the Lord of the Rings synopsis, Mara. That was good.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, that's just my thoughts. Overall thoughts.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
It's
It's
good.
like instead of happy birthday, it's like congratulations. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh,
That was a really good video you did. Oh, you're welcome. Perfect.
Congratulations.
So everyone here, if you haven't, which I'm sure most of you are, if not all of you, please go and subscribe to Mara. And last but not least, Stig, thank you for coming on late in the show, but I appreciate you all the same. Have you got anything? You got a top 5 or anything coming soon for us?
You're welcome.
That's actually appropriate though, because I said
no top 5 stuff coming up. I'm kind of burned out on them. But mostly just on Alora's channel on Thursdays.
Yep.
And working on Mondays.
Yeah, it was good yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sub to OG Star Wars, everyone, and Steph. Steph is in the chat. Sub to her. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not looking for subs. So
We need you. We need your Twitter followers back because you had a lot on your old account. So.
No, I didn't have that many. It was like 800, I think.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, still quite a bit.
You tweet my stuff, it means I get more exposure. So we need to get your followers back up, dude.
Yeah, okay. The problem is, though, a lot of them are weirdos.
Thank you very much for coming. I love you all. And all right, he's still going. All right, let's talk about Lord of the Rings.
He's back.
He went there and back again.
I did it for you.
Game of Orcs.
Yeah.
No, but thank you, Stig, for coming on. Please go on Steph to Steph, My Nerdy Home.
Steph.
Yeah. Steph.
Steph to Steph.
So I said.
Steph.
I'm gonna have to go back and actually listen to what I just said.
was actually thinking that Jeff, the step-by-step song, and
Good. Good. I wasn't the only one.
Steph.
New Kids on the Block or the intro to the sitcom?
The show, man. The show.
Star Wars and Stig.
The Stepford Wives.
Somebody needs to do the intro with her head on every single one of the faces of the characters from Step by Step.
Everyone in the chat, I will get back into doing some videos for you all. I'm sorry I didn't do anything this week because I just honestly couldn't be fucked.
Failed this city.
And so I will be doing videos again. I will also be on, of course, the Full Aussie. I will also be on the High Ground. And get ready. Is it going to be ready this week? What we worked on today, Tim? Is it going to be ready for this week's
now
show?
you put me on the spot. No, yeah, it should be. I'm having some technical difficulties, but I'll figure it out.
Okay.
There's nothing I haven't been able to do, and if not, I'll use that other software that Jeff sent me. So
okay, it's not a big deal, guys, but it's just another little additive to the show. So yeah, you can, if you can make it, come and check us out. It's on the Geek Blends channel on Sunday afternoon. Saturday night if you're in the States. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Goodbye, everyone. Take care, and we